Good evening and welcome to the Dollar Dogs and Beer podcast. I am your host, Andrew, and with me, as always, my wonderful co-hosts, Jason and Joe. And guys, holy crap, it's our awesome, very nice 69th episode. How have we made it this far without being thrown off the air? What do you think, Jason? Episode 69, it's Thanksgiving week. Awards are out. Now we need some real baseball, but because it's Thanksgiving, everybody's playing backyard football this weekend, unfortunately.
Yeah, episode 69, we're kind of at the climax point of the season, although maybe just a little bit past it. But you know what? I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and, I'm starting to run out of other puns here, but...
I was expecting you to make a couple Office references or something,
Yeah, it's a very, very nice episode, and at least the wives will be joining us a little later. We're kind of getting there first, but...
Joe, how are you doing, bud?
I got nothing, man. I got nothing after that display of whatever that was. I'm hanging in there, man. Thanksgiving week, some time with family here in the next few days, and rolling into it. Basketball season is in high gear here for the for college for the Hoosiers. They're 3-0, and they've got a couple games coming up here that could be good. So I'm excited. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, it's a good week for college basketball. Some really exciting games. I when I was looking ahead at the schedules. And, this is a great time of year because you've got the NCAA women's soccer tournaments going on. Penn State is looking amazing in that so far. Women's volleyball's wrapping up. All the sports are starting to coalesce. You're hitting the ends of some, the beginnings of others. We're in the middle 2/3 of football. It's, this is just a great time of year. Let's be real, guys. So, Joe, what are you drinking tonight since you're still unmuted?
I'm drinking some Old Forester and Coke. So some nice bourbon and Coke here to, get into the Thanksgiving week here.
Good choice. How about you, Jason?
Yeah, so tonight I'm drinking something that's actually really special. The other week I went back out to my college alma mater, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, for the marching band's 100th year anniversary. And Levity Brewing Company, which is just a little bit off campus, was actually right near the hotel that we stayed at. It was fantastic. But they brewed a special red ale for the event. It's the Legend Red Ale. It's one of the old directors. The Legend is the nickname of IAP's band. The music here is actually, if you look at it closely, it's the start of Amazing Grace, which is their signature song. And then was, is, and ever shall be is kind of the slogan. So it's really, really cool can. And they made like 160 4-packs of it. And they sold out in like a day. I had a friend grab me a pack while she went out. So Ashley, thank you. It tastes really good too. So the Legend Ale from Levity Brewing Company.
I just love everything they have tied into that can. That is so awesome. And the fact that good beer is a nice bonus too.
Oh, yeah.
So for me tonight, because this is Thanksgiving week, and the number 2 all-time pie, although most people would say it's number 1, the number 2 all-time pie for Thanksgiving is, of course, the pumpkin pie. So for me tonight, it is a Troegs Master of Pumpkins. Number 1 is, of course, apple pie. No questions asked, especially if you've ever had my mom's apple pie. All right, so let's roll.
Quick question there. Are you talking like holiday pie or just pie in general?
Holiday.
See, I would argue the pecan pie or pecan pie, depends on how you pronounce where you are.
The country you're in at that particular time. I do like pecan pie. I do. It's not better than apple pie.
Yeah, I think for pie in general, being a Lancaster County person, I love shoe fly pie. I'm not a big pie person, but shoe fly pie is absolutely delicious.
I never fell in love with shoe fly. I tried. I just, no, not for me.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't from Lancaster County that might be listening or watching this at some point, no, there aren't flies in it. It is just molasses and sugar, which would draw flies as it cooled, and you would have to shoo the flies away. So it's shoo fly pie.
Yeah, considering there's molasses, I'm sure there's a couple flies that didn't get shooed off that pie, Jason. Joe, what's your favorite kind of Thanksgiving pie, since that's what we're going to roll into first?
I don't know, man. I like apple is good. I'm not much of a pumpkin pie fan, but my mom makes a banging pumpkin roll. So it's pumpkin with the cream cheese rolled up. It's banging.
Ronnie, I'm assuming you're talking about apple pie, and yes, apple pie, you have to have it with some vanilla ice cream every time. Every time. I am a huge fan of that. And like I said, my mom has a blend of apples that she uses. I know she uses like 8 different kinds of apples in her pie. Like the middle is like literally probably, sorry, I had to figure out which way my camera was moving, probably like that thick. The thing is huge. I know of like 2 of the 8 apples she stuffs in there. So it is just an absolutely delicious treat. And she makes one for me every year to take home.
That thick and huge. Being our 69th show, that's what she said.
There it is. There it is. All right. So let's roll into something somewhat relevant and roll into the BBWAA Awards, the Baseball Writers of America Awards, or Writers Association of America, whatever. Jason, since you are the reigning MVP team holder, why don't you kick us off with the MVP award?
Yeah, so we'll go with the American League here to start, and it was, as all 3 of us predicted, as was almost certainly going to be, it was Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. Shohei Ohtani got 2 first-place votes, and Aaron Judge got the rest. He did set the AL record this year with 62 home runs, led Major League Baseball in RBIs with 131, OPS plus, total bases, runs scored, and he is the 21st Yankee to win the Most Valuable Player award for the American League, and he is the first since Alex Rodriguez won the award in 2007. And then the National League was one that we got right. We could see a couple things happening, but it ended up not occurring. But Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals, he got the award this year. He did push for the Triple Crown for most of the season, but he did fall short. He ended up hitting .317 with 35 home runs, 115 runs batted in. He led the National League with a .982 OPS. He was 3rd in average, 5th in home runs, and 2nd in RBI. And he's the 18th Cardinal to win the MVP. He had 22 of the 30 first-place votes, and he did beat out Manny Machado by 79 points. Manny was the one that we thought potentially could sneak through there, but it did end up being Goldie.
Yeah, no arguments, I think, for any of the MVP candidates. Like I said it was actually 2 weeks ago. Like I said, you actually could make a better case for Shohei to win MVP this year than he did when he won it last year, but it was clearly Judge's, no questions asked. And yeah, we ran through all the scenarios. Not surprised Goldie came out on top. I actually did think it'd be a little closer than it was. It looks like it was actually Machado and Arenado were splitting more of the votes than Goldie and Arenado. So, hey, whatever. That's no arguments though for me this year for MVP, none whatsoever. I actually thought the voting top to bottom was pretty spot on. What do you think, Joe, for the MVPs?
Yeah, no real issue here. I mean, I think we talked about it ad nauseum. The Yankees would not have been where they were but for Aaron Judge. And I mean, that first half of the year with the Cardinals, I mean, it wasn't until the second half of the year that Pujols went off and Arenado went off. So they wouldn't have been in the spot they were in that second half without Goldschmidt's contributions. So
Exactly. And let's hope that Judge gets a big enough contract this offseason that he can afford the chiropractic care he's going to need for his sore back for carrying the entirety of the New York Yankees in the second half of the year. All right, Joe, how about the Cy Youngs? And this is another set of awards that we were all pretty good on, and something special happened this year with the Cy Youngs that we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, so the AL Cy Young was Justin Verlander. I thought I think obviously he performed amazingly this year. Of course, I was on the Cease bandwagon, but I'm not surprised by this at all. Verlander's the 11th pitcher to win 3 or more Cy Youngs. He's the 5th oldest pitcher to do it. Unanimous winner, which again shocked me a little, but not too much. 18-4, 1.75 ERA in 28 starts. Led an ERA whip, which was, his whip for the year 0.83. That's just amazing. Batting average against him all year was a 186, probably except for the playoffs. And really, he just dominated this year. Can't say enough about it. Lowest AL ERA since Pedro in 2000, and the 4th Astro to win the award. So, no real beef with it. My beef is if the White Sox weren't so terrible, this is probably a closer race for the AL. Any thoughts on that?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it there, Joe. No arguments there. Definitely the guy who we thought would win it, and he did also, and I'll point this out later, he also got the comeback player of the year, which 100% deserved as well, coming off of Tommy John last year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think the only thing that really got me was the fact that he got all first place votes. I really thought that a couple would head, Cease's way or somewhere else, but no problem whatsoever. He absolutely should have been the winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On the NL side, it was Sandy Alcantara from Miami. Led the majors in innings pitched with 228 2/3, which is just mind-boggling.
That's insane.
6 complete games, more than any other team this entire year, which, that's shocking in and of itself. The way that they utilize pitchers now, that's just amazing to see that. It's a shame it was wasted on a team with not enough talent to really do anything, honestly. But, he threw 8+ innings in 14 of his 32 starts. That's a bygone era, it feels like, for pitchers. So that was impressive. Aaron Nola was only 23 2/3 innings behind him. The fact that it was that far is just crazy.
Yeah, that was second place in innings, 23 2/3 of an inning. Like, that's 3-4 starts right there. That's nuts.
Yeah, and I think Nola with that, I think he was like 4th or 5th in the voting this year.
Yeah, something like that. It was just outside of the finalists.
Yeah, I think, Nola had a much better September and October than we're used to seeing him have, and that really, I think he's turned the tide on that narrative a bit.
And I think the reason for Alcantara needing to for him pitching so many innings, all those complete games, Marlins didn't have anybody else they could go to after him. They rode him as long as they could. We saw that in a couple games, like I saw when I went to a game against the Marlins with the Phils. They left him into the 8th inning, and he got tired, and the Phils came back. But that's why he did all those complete games. They couldn't go to their bullpen.
Yeah, when you have nobody else.
Yeah, also of note there, he's the first Marlin to win it, which is, well-deserved, obviously. The fact that he was unanimous winner wasn't surprising to me on the NL, so. No.
But what's really crazy is this is only the second time it's ever happened that both Cy Young winners were unanimous. The other time was 1968. That's really cool. So, yeah, first Marlin. Oh, by the way, the funny thing with our MVPs this year, the Yankees and the Cardinals are 1 and 2 all-time for teams with the most MVP awards as well. So, that rolled like that. And then down to the Rookie of the Year, these were 2 more that we all nailed. The AL was particularly easy to nail. Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners. And if I saw that the was it the Toronto writer, I think, threw one vote towards Adley. I get it. And the reasons that he gave, I actually agree with the reasons why he went with them, but this was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
J-Rod, 28 home runs. He led all rookies with that. He led them with B-WAR of 6, F-WAR of 5.3, OPS of 854, and total bases of 260. And he gets to join a very elite club with the great Mike Trout as the only players in either AL or NL history to hit at least 25 homers, have 25 stolen base, and 800-plus OPS in their rookie season. Let's hope he has a little better luck with injuries than Mike Trout has as well. In the NL side, we all guessed right. It was going to be the everyday player, Michael Harris, beating out Spencer Strider. Although, interestingly enough, Harris and Strider are only the eighth set of teammates to go 1-2 in Rookie of the Year. So that's kind of neat there. Michael Harris, he finished the year with 19 homers, 20 stolen bases, a 4.4 offensive B-WAR, 1.3 defensive B-WAR. But let's, good numbers in and of itself, but let's remember he didn't debut until May 28th, and he still put that up in a short period of time. So hell of a season for Harris. Tough luck for Strider, but he still got something of his own from the players, as we'll see later. So, guys, any thoughts on the rookies? We pretty much nailed these two.
Yeah, I think for Adley Rutschman, I think if Adley has a full season, it's either very close or Adley potentially wins that award, just because of the trajectory he was on. But only coming up near the end of May is not really going to give you an edge when you have somebody who was up the whole season. So I like the fact that the Toronto writer put Adley as the first place vote. I think it was definitely warranted.
And he does bring up some good points. I mean, Adley's defense is phenomenal. He is going to be the best defensive catcher in baseball in a very short period of time, without any doubt. And as a rookie, he was able to handle a big league pitching staff, no problems. I mean, because the guy's right. You absolutely, especially with a catcher, you must consider defensive metrics as well as offensive, more than any other position. But yeah, he came up a little too late. And unfortunately, he wasn't in the NL where the rookie class was relatively weak. And you could, do that coming up in late May and taking it. So, tough luck for Adley. I really wish the Orioles would have brought him up right away. They should have. I don't understand why they let him sit in AAA for basically 2 months. That was dumb. All right. And then manager of the year in the AL was Terry Francona of the Guardians. He led the youngest roster in baseball to the AL Central crown behind strong pitching, strong defense, and small ball. This is his third manager of the year award that he has had. And in the NL, and the biggest screw up of the award season so far, Buck Showalter and the Mets, who somehow wins manager of the year despite blowing a 10.5 game lead. So he becomes the first manager to win manager of the year with 4 different teams. And he is the first Mets manager to win the award because, let's face it, the Mets have sucked for 98% of their history. All right, Jason, take it away, bud.
Garbage. It is absolute garbage. Not only do you have 2 other candidates who probably should have won the award above him as far as the finalists are concerned, in Dave Roberts and Brian Snicker. Rob Thompson should have been manager of the year out of everybody. He took a team that was 7 games under 500 in June and took them to the playoffs. And especially when MLB and ESPN were sharing all the different graphics and things like that, their thought process, if your title for Showalter winning the award is he led them to their first playoff appearance in 6 or 7 years, whatever it was, that's not a strong enough case for manager of the year. If you go by that logic, Thompson took them to their first to the playoff appearance since 2011. So 10, 11 years. And the thing that blows my mind here is you have Showalter, and one of the other finalists is the guy whose team actually won that division and came back from 10.5 games down in June to win that division. How do you not give that award out of those 3 finalists to Brian Snitker? Like, I bash their Braves frequently, but Brian Snitker, out of those 3 finalists, should have 100% won that award. He should have been behind Rob Thompson, but out of those 3 finalists, he should have won that award.
And I even said that before finalists were announced, that I thought it should have been Thompson over Snitker. I was on record saying that, and I still frankly agree with that. Yeah. Marmol got more votes than Thompson did. He got completely hosed. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah, it was absolute trash. I mean, if the Mets had won the division, I would understand it more.
Yeah.
But the fact that they lost you lost a 10.5 game lead and played like dog shit the last 2 months of the season. I don't understand it. And there were people who were part of their case for Rob Thompson was, well, he took them to the World Series, things like that. We need to remember that this is a regular season award. Voting is done at the end of the regular season. But still, look at what he did with that team. Not only with the 7 games under 500, lost the reigning National League MVP for 2 months, and the team still stayed afloat. I will never understand this pick.
He not only took a dumpster fire floating down a river heading towards a waterfall, but he managed to not only put the fire out, but get it steered correctly. Like, what else do you need? What else do you need to see? I just don't understand. I really don't.
No.
Joe, what are your thoughts, man?
I mean, on the AL front, I thought Hyde from the Orioles deserved this more. I think Francona benefited from the fact that La Russa and the White Sox were just so gosh darn awful. I mean, not to say that they didn't do what they needed to do. I'm not taking away from their year, but I do think that the fact that the Orioles were playing meaningful baseball until the first week of October, I mean, that hasn't happened in years.
Yeah, so, it was the biggest turnaround essentially in MLB history, with 100+ losses to over 500.
Yeah. I mean, to me that was the clear pick here. That's why I was pulling for him. But I'm not, again, not to take away from Francona, but okay, you won a crappy division over a team who basically surrendered in May, for lack of a better thought on that. And on the NL side, I agree with you guys. I mean, obviously it should have been Thompson, but and like you said, Showalter's the least of the 3 options that were there. He's the least of the good options. I mean, this is a team who 2 years ago was practicing their World Series celebration, you freaking retards. I mean, come on now. But like, seriously. So you know, getting to the playoffs was a big deal. And then this year it was, well, they just got there, and it's like, yeah, but you had a Division 1. Like,
He changed the culture of the clubhouse. Like the celebration stuff wasn't under him. But the thing is, you still ended up collapsing and losing the division. Manager of the year does not collapse and lose a division.
Take a wild card spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, like you said, it's you're there to – changing the culture was not hard to do. I mean, Rojas had 60 different lineups in the first half of the year. Changing the culture is not very hard to do there. You know, and if that's your standard, again, like you said, Jason, the Phillies were 7 under.
Yeah.
In June.
Yeah. The team, the wild card team that goes from 7 under to wild card is where you get your manager of the year, not the team that blows a 10 and a half freaking game lead and takes wild card spot. You don't get manager of the year. That is complete bullshit.
Yeah. Out of the three, the order should have been Snicker, Roberts, Showalter.
Yeah. And and honestly, I would even be okay if it was Roberts ahead of Snicker in that case too. But it shouldn't have been. It should have been Snit. He actually did something, whereas Roberts played in a garbage division.
Yeah. I mean, they got 110 wins. That's 111. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But
wins
Snicker's team coming back from 10.5 down in June. They were actually, the fun fact that I liked is they were 10.5 games back on June 3rd, which is the same day that the Phillies were 7 games under 500. And a switch happened on June 3rd for both teams, and they ran with it. But with Snicker's team coming back to take the division, out of those three, it should have been Snicker.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's crazy if the season started on June 3rd and was played 162 games from there on to the end, the Mets are so far down and out, it's not even funny. Like the Phillies would have second place, the Braves would have been in first, and the Mets would have been clinging to a wild card spot. So, yeah, I know we look at the whole season for these awards, yada, 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 yada. But, yeah, you got to look at the whole season. So I'm sorry. Showalter did not earn that award. He was given that award by a bunch of idiots who don't know what they're voting for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're given to this award at mid-season, he wins this one because you kept the team afloat and in the lead without your two aces.
Yeah.
But, as
here's the thing.
That's why they play 4 quarters. Settle down.
Exactly. And here's the thing. They had great pitching besides just besides Scherzer and DeGrom. They had great pitching besides that. And sure, did it hurt to lose those two guys? Yeah. Did it really make a big difference for the Mets? No, because when did they lose their games? When Scherzer and DeGrom were back, not when they were gone. So I don't even want to hear that argument that, he kept them afloat without his two best. But no, he did worse with his two best pitchers. So no.
Yeah.
All right. So
let's move on. We do have the Hank Aaron Award, which is given to the best. I guess it's not necessarily overall hitter, but kind of like power hitter. It's all these different offensive stats. And it usually goes to people who are in the MVP running. This year, it did end up going to the 2 MVP winners. It went to Aaron Judge of the Yankees in the American League and Paul Goldschmidt in the National League from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep.
Nothing further to really say about that. It's well earned for both of them.
Yeah, no arguments there. Joe, how about the Clemente Award?
Yeah, we touched on this earlier in the year in one of my Release the Good segments. The Clemente Award, it's bestowed annually to a player who best exemplifies Roberto Clemente's spirit of taking care of those less fortunate than yourselves and all of those things, making the biggest difference off of the field. And, I mean, productive on the field, but making a bigger difference in winning off the field. And he, in 2021, the Dream Center renamed its food bank after Justin and his wife Courtney. So it's the Justin and Courtney Turner Food Bank. They supply food to more than 60 food banks in the LA area. His foundation holds an annual golf tournament and supports Veterans Day Radiothon. That tournament itself raises $650,000. So, I mean, he's really making a difference just on that front. And then you add that they frequently visit patients at the Children's Hospital at UCLA, and they, do a ton of work there. So really learning more about guys like that. And again, guys who are winning off the field, that's the stuff that most impressed me about these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Turner, 100% earned the award this year. Great choice. I knew a little bit of what he did, but Joe, the more in-depth list you ran off, just phenomenal. Really happy to see he won it this year. You know what I wish MLB would do? Just a quick sidebar. You know how NFL's got the Walter Payton Award, and the previous winners are allowed to keep the Walter Payton patch on their jersey until they retire? I really wish baseball would do that with Clemente Award winners somehow, because that's such an awesome award, and that's the kind of award that they really should bring more awareness to. Philanthropy is always a good thing, and frankly, we should do our best to encourage it throughout the world as much as possible. So, good idea for you there, baseball. Let's find a patch and keep that rolling. All right, and then one of my favorite awards. This is the Heart and Hustle Award. This is given to a player who demonstrates a passion for the game of baseball and best embodies the values, spirits, and traditions of the game. This is the last year's winner was Ozzy Albies, and it goes typically to guys that like they're still like kids playing baseball. You could tell they have fun. You could tell they leave it all out in the line. And this year's winner, and no arguments whatsoever. Paul Goldschmidt as well of the Cardinals. Great choice for the award this year. Goldie's really cleaning up.
I say cleaning up the awards.
He had to do his part after the Cardinals didn't win like 7 Gold Gloves this year. So,
or hit for crap in the wild card round. You're welcome, Jason. Oh, hey, by the way, Joe, looking back on the Mets celebrating the World Series victory back in spring training, I can't remember if it was Atlanta's official Twitter or if it was the blooper Twitter, but the day after Atlanta won, they just started spamming the Mets Twitter feed with pictures of the Braves celebrating and said, basically, no, this is actually how you should be celebrating a World Series title. I love Bloopers Twitter. Absolutely brilliant. All right. And then I'm just going to run down through these quick. I love these awards as well. The MLB Players' Choice Award winners voted on by the players. Player of the Year and Outstanding AL Player went to Aaron Judge. The Marvin Miller Man of the Year, this goes to the player whose leadership most inspires others to higher levels of achievement. That went to Francisco Lindor of the Mets. The Kurt Flood Award, which is presented to a former player, either living or deceased, who in the image of Flood demonstrates a selfless, long-time devotion to the Players Association and advancement of players' rights. This year's winner was Steve Rogers. He was a 5-time All-Star right-handed pitcher for the Expos, who pitched from 1973 to 85. He's been a tireless advocate for players' rights for almost 50 years as both a player and an MLBPA executive.
Captain America.
Yeah, right. The NL Outstanding Player was Paul Goldschmidt, not surprising. Outstanding Pitcher, again, not surprising, Sandy Alcantara. The Outstanding Rookie this time went to Spencer Strider. He ended the regular season with a 2.67 ERA and a WHIP of 1. And that was over only 131 2/3 innings. He struck out 38% of the batters he faced. He had a 13.8 K per 9, which set a rookie record, breaking Kerry Wood's 12.6 from the Cubs back in 98. And Joe, I remember that 98 season. I never thought that K per 9 would ever be beaten. That was insane. All I can hope is Spencer Strider has better injury luck than Kerry Wood did, because talk about a guy who should have been one of the all-time greats and got cut short by injuries.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kerry Wood is I've got a soft spot in my heart for him, and watching that 20K game. And I'm reading a book right now. It's John Greenberg. It's If These Walls Could Talk, and it's about the Cubs and all of their, stuff, from the 2000s on, 90s and 2000s up through now. And it's really interesting to gain a new perspective on the behind the scenes stuff with the Theo and all of that happening, and John Lester and all that stuff. So it's really, interesting to read. The first part of the book was about the guys that they burned through.
Yeah.
And how and why they did that. So
yeah, I might steal that from you when you're done with it. Sounds
sure.
interesting.
I've got a bunch of earmarks in it. You can just, ignore those or
please
highlight it or whatever. But
that doesn't bother me. All right, and then NL comeback player went to Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves, who recovered from a torn ACL and returned to the lineup in late April and managed to hit 15 home runs and steal 29 bases in 119 games this year. The AL's outstanding pitcher and comeback player of the year went to, of course, Justin Verlander, and the AL outstanding rookie went to Julio Rodriguez. So, honestly, other than the NL manager of the year, not only did we all do really well in predicting this year, But I really don't have any arguments other than one. So honestly, great job by all the awards panels for not screwing up the awards this year. We could
It's about
talk
time
about
they listen to us.
yeah, right. Yeah, because they clearly didn't last year when they gave to Shohei over Vlad Jr. All right, so let's roll into the offseason wish list for our team. So, Joe, why don't you kick this off first? What's your offseason wish list for the Cubbies?
I mean, the biggest thing for me is that they solidify a few things. I sent something to you guys today about how they're gonna try and lock down Nico and Ian Happ. That needs to happen before the season starts. I don't want to deal with any of this. What's going to happen? If they keep doing that, I mean, I'm going to be out of money, and Avi Shirts is going to be rich. So, I really want to see them lock those two up for sure. What they do at catcher is kind of up in the air. Obviously, do they reach a deal with Wilson, or do they bring somebody else in? I see some rumors with Christian Vasquez, maybe. Solidifying behind the plate, solidifying the infield. That's where my biggest issues are, and getting at least one ace. Outfield wise, they had a ton of prospects with a lot of the trades the last couple of years. They've got Canario, they've got Brendan Davis, they've got PCA. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned about the outfield. They've got Seiya, they've got Ian, they've got players in the outfield. I'm not too worried about that. The infield, catching and pitching is where they kind of need to lock things up. I think if you get a Bogarts, and Bogarts plays third and Nikos plays short, and Wisdom warms up first base for Matt Mervis, and you see what Madrigal can do with a healthy year if he gets one. I think it's a little too early to make that decision, at least. But pitching wise, I mean, you look at this team, there's only one guy left. We talked about this from the 2016 club, and that's Kyle Hendricks. So, Stroman's made a case to be the top of that rotation, and I'd like to see him go get Rodon.
Yeah, I could see Rodon.
Honestly, Xander and Rodon are the two big ones I want to see them do, and then solidify the catcher position.
All right, Jason, go ahead.
So their biggest need is going to be a shortstop. They are the favorites currently to land Trey Turner, who is a free agent from the Dodgers. I think the Phillies are going – the good thing for the Phillies is they have a lot of empty money coming off of the books this year, as far as Odubel, Didi, just things like that. Gene Segura, thank you for everything you did. He was fantastic for this team. He's not going to be back next year. So best of luck, Gene, wherever you go. But I think you're going to see the Phillies spend. They have like 70-some million free before that luxury tax. So I think you're going to see them splurge for Trey Turner or Xander Bogaerts. And that's going to shore up shortstop, and they're going to then slide Bryson Stott over to second base. So that's going to keep their infield pretty solid. It's actually going to be an upgrade, really. You do lose a little bit in Gene's glove with Stott, but Stott is very solid defender, and you actually upgrade at short with whoever you get, because you're going to upgrade the glove, you're going to upgrade the offense, which is going to be needed with Bryce Harper missing at least the first half of the season, or the first couple months of the season, with his surgery coming up on Wednesday. And then my other wish list here, they need at least one starter, preferably a high-end starter like Carlos Rodon. I think the draw of the Phillies being right there with the World Series this past year might get Carlos Rodon to really consider the Phillies. A lot of it's going to depend on dollars, I think. But they need one kind of no, Ronald.
Ronnie, it's not going to happen, bud.
That's not going to happen. He signed a massive contract right after Harper signed his. So unless you're giving up the farm, which the Phillies don't really have much that they can give up at the moment, it's not going to happen. But I think you're going to see them go after a big name shortstop and a big name starting pitcher. And then they're also going to need to, I need them to get Aaron Nola an extension. He would be a free agent at the end of next year, I believe. And then a fifth starter, because you currently would have then Wheeler, Nola, Rodon, or whatever big name starter they get, Ranger Suarez. And it's wish list, Andrew. It's not, this is what's going to happen.
Oh no, I know. I just love that you guys are just fighting over Rodon so much.
Oh, I could even see the Phillies going after like Chris Bassett from the Mets. So,
were you watching the private chat?
No, I wasn't actually.
I just brought that up.
Oh, I literally just have the ones that we get from the public. So like I have Ron's messages up
because Joe literally just brought that up as someone the Cubs are targeting as well.
Same wavelength, Joe.
Rodon, first off, he was excellent when he was with the White Sox. They were stupid to let him go. But I was driving back from Indiana this summer, and the Cubs were playing the Giants in a Sunday night game, and Rodon was pitching, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you struck out 10 Cubs. Can you strike out the other guys next year, please? The guy was just filthy and dominant, and you could just feel it through the radio. It was just unreal.
Yeah. Ron, I have heard that as well. I've heard that the Phils may be in on Justin Verlander. I would personally prefer Rodon or Bassett. Verlander's age and injury history has me concerned. But they need a good starter, and then they also need like a good mid to lower level fifth starter. I would even be fine if they brought back Noah Syndergaard for that fifth spot. He pitched well for them. And then the last thing that they need to do a little bit in the bullpen. They don't need to do as much as they have in the previous years because they have a lot of their big name or their solid guys, their good guys under contract and arbitration for quite some time, like Dominguez, not Suarez, Alvarado, things like that.
Roberts.
No, Robertson's gone. He's free agent. Bye-bye. But I think you'll see them spend a little bit for the bullpen. And honestly, I can see them going back over the luxury tax threshold with how they did last year. So I think Phillies are going to spend this offseason. Shortstop, couple starters, and bullpen. Those are the things that they're going to fill. While extending Aaron Nola, hopefully. I'll be interested to see what they do with Rhys Hoskins.
Shots fired, Joe. Ron fired right back.
But I'll be interested to see what they do with Rhys Hoskins because Rhys will be a free agent at the end of next season. So they might just let him play out the contract and let him walk, and then eventually move Bohm over to first and try and get a third baseman. Rhys's offense has been fine. He's very streaky, as a lot of first basemen can be. His defense is just so they definitely need to take a good look there, see if they can improve Rhys's defense even more. And the thing is, his defense was improved this past year.
Let me get this straight. You're talking about them letting go of Rhys after next year and replacing his defense with Alec Bohm's defense.
Thank you.
Did you see Bohm's second half and postseason plays?
I did. I'm just,
Did you see
I love
Reese's
the guy going
postseason
down.
defensive plays? I will take Alec Boehm anywhere in the field compared to Reese Hoskins.
To be fair, I didn't see Reese's defense in the postseason because I wasn't watching the games because I didn't want to jinx you. So
I appreciate that.
It
Reese
was really
literally
bad.
dropped the ball on a throw over. Ball. He was stretching out. Ball hit him square in the glove, and he literally dropped it.
Reese almost single-handedly put Atlanta back into that series. He was awful. Now, he was some of it was straight up his fault. Some of it was he was not getting great throws. The Phillies, I don't know what it was against the Braves. The Phillies infield defense was just not great that entire series.
Yeah, and then that slow switch went on, and they were solid for the rest of the postseason run. They were solid against the Cardinals. But yeah,
that one series that was so weird.
Honestly, the second half of this season and into the playoffs, Boehm played almost Gold Glove caliber defense.
Well, there's a thought. Move Sosa to third, Alec to first.
Yeah,
Ronnie, there's the problem. So are you putting Reese on the bench? Or are you moving him to DH?
I'm thinking this is if Reese is gone.
Yeah, like I could see them trying to shop Reese in the offseason. I don't know that you get a heck of a lot because he's on an expired contract, but
they won't trade Reese without getting something significant in return.
And he's not playing well enough to get significant back.
I fully expect that he'll play out the remainder of his contract and then they'll let him go while they try to fill in that hole.
Okay, so
because if they get a solid shortstop under a decent contract, your starters and your bullpen, your focus next season is going to be Nola, first base, potentially even a Wheeler extension. I believe Wheeler's through 2024. But yeah.
All right, so that's Jason's rather extensive wish list for the Phillies.
Dream big.
Well, I get that. I have a much shorter wish list because like 2/3 of my team is signed for at least the next 3 to 10 years.
Sign Dansby.
Yeah, that's number one. Atlanta needs to sign Dansby and bring him back. And the fact that they didn't get this done is same as with Freddie last year, annoys the ever-loving hell out of me. I feel like we have better odds of getting Dansby re-signed based on everything that went down last year with Freddie. I think they're not going to let things blow up as much because I think they're going to be in much closer communications. God, I hope so. Because, that was absolute crap last year. Nice, Jason. So, they got to get Dansby back. So here's the thing. Vaughn Grissom is actually working with Ron Washington down in New Orleans where Washington lives in the offseason because Washington believes Grissom does have the potential to be an everyday shortstop at the major league level. Here's the thing. The kid just came up from Double-A. He was hot for a little bit, but then very quickly showed that he just came up from Double-A. I would either rather see him stay in the majors as a backup utility guy for the infielders so we can spell some of these guys a little bit more, or I'd like to see him go down to AAA for at least half the season to get more regular reps in before coming back up to the majors. I think Dansby needs to be, even if they try and maybe just sign Dansby to a shorter deal for more AAV, I think that needs to be a higher priority than getting Vaughn Grissom ready to immediately be the starting shortstop on opening day for Atlanta. Dansby needs to be the guy who comes back. Otherwise, there's not nearly as big of a wish list Atlanta needs to fill, again, because they've got so many players signed. I want to see Marcell Ozuna shipped off to Siberia, never to be seen again. I don't care if that means we eat the rest of this contract because nobody is going to take him, and we are not bad enough to fire sale good players to try and make that pile of crap that is Marcell Ozuna palatable like we were able to do with B.J. Upton and Craig Kimbrell to the Padres many, many years ago. So just bite the bullet, get rid of Ozuna, keep Rosario because he's on a far cheaper deal. And now that he's not going to need to have LASIK eye surgery in the first quarter of the season like he did this year, I'm sure he's not going to be hitting under 200 for most of the season like he was this year. So I'd like to maybe see another outfielder brought in. I know they non-tendered Duvall. He's probably going to be a free agent. If he's willing to come back very cheap, I'm sure Atlanta would be happy to have him back again. But Duvall did nothing this year. I was very unimpressed. He was striking out at the same ridiculous rates, but not making contact, unlike a year ago when he hit 40-some home runs. So Duvall can go bye-bye. I won't be upset about that. Kenley Jansen, by reports, will be heading out to San Francisco, so the closer role is open. I'm curious to see if Atlanta's going to either look at Kirby Yates, who now being a full year off Tommy John Plus is probably ready to retake a closer role, or if they're going to look for somebody, I'm thinking probably AJ Minter, or if they look outside as a free agent spot again. That's certainly a possibility. Atlanta does like to go after free agent closers. And frankly, Atlanta's not afraid to pick up multiple closers and then just shuffle in the hot hand if they need to. I'm fine with a closer by committee approach as well.
David Robertson.
No, because I don't have to. Actually, I wouldn't hate on Robertson because he'd be a solid seventh inning, eighth inning guy. I think it'd be absolutely hilarious if Hector Neris becomes available and we pick him up as a seventh, eighth inning guy. Just, another way to say, Philly, you figured it out at the end. Why didn't you figure it out at the beginning that this is where he belongs?
They had nobody else at the time.
But that's fair. Yeah. I mean, that's why Luke Jackson was a closer for a while. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I'll say you figure Hector Neris was closing the games when the team was record bad with the bullpen, and then they finally had people back like Dominguez and other actual people that could close games, and moved him out, and he was great. So
yeah. The other thing I would like to see is another. We don't need an ace, but I think we should add another big time arm to the starting rotation. I have said many times over the years on this show, you can never have enough pitching. I want to see Atlanta go after freaking DeGrom. Now, here's why I'm worried that won't happen. They extended Charlie Morton during the end of the regular season, and I think they're going to say, no, we're going to run Charlie one more year, and we're not going to spend big on DeGrom. Here's the thing. Liberty Media made a ton of money off the Braves the last couple years, and they're actually splitting the Atlanta Braves off under its own subdivision, which will allow more funding to be available to the Braves. So Liberty, it's time to be a little more like Ted Turner and spend some freaking money. And honestly, Jacob deGrom would be a wonderful addition. If not, I'll, just to make the chew toy get broken up even further, I'll go after Carlos Rodon as well. But honestly, they don't need an ace. So like a Rodon, a Bassett, a mid-level guy would make plenty of sense as well. But I just like DeGrom because I don't want to see that SOB back in a Mets uniform ever again. If Atlanta can't have him, I would much rather see him out of the NL East altogether. I would be happy to not see him come up so often. Although, Jason, let's face it. If he goes to a team outside the NL East, every time our teams face him, we will have to face them. We will have to face him. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, Atlanta, not a whole lot they have to patch up. Ozzy should be back to full strength. He'll be fully recovered from all of his injuries by spring training. We're not going to have Matzik at all next year because of Tommy John. Luke Jackson should be back probably, I would say, first, third to middle of the year coming off of Tommy John. He had surgery right before the start of the regular season this year. So we should be able to get Luke Jackson back. So, yeah, you know what? One other thing I want to see, another left-handed arm in the bullpen since we're not going to have Matzik and you can't have enough left-handed pitching. So, yeah, much smaller list than you guys have, thankfully, because our team is, for some reason, signed for years and years and years and years to come. So, hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully it continues to work for Atlanta because the NL East is going to continually be a bloodbath for the next couple years to come. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's my Christmas wish list. All right, so guys, just earlier today they announced the Hall of Fame ballot. The newcomers to the list. I'm not going to name everybody, just a couple big names here. Carlos Beltran is on there. Francisco Rodriguez is on there. I was surprised Houston Street's on there. I hadn't realized he was already eligible now. You've got John Lackey. You've got Jacoby Ellsbury. You've got Mike Napoli, Johnny Peralta, Jason Worth. So there's more newcomers than that, but those are some of the bigger names. So our returning candidates, we've got 3 guys back in the ballot who were over 50% last year. Scott Rowland was at 63.2%. This is his 6th year on the ballot. Todd Helton was at 52%. This is his 5th year on the ballot. And Billy Wagner was at 51%. Now he's getting close to the end. This is his 8th year on the ballot. Some guys that were close last year, Andre Jones was at 41.4%, but he's only in his 6th year, so he's still got a couple years. I think we're going to see Andre take a surge up this year. Here's an interesting case. Gary Sheffield, he's in his 9th year. He did have 40.6. I know you tend to see a little bit of 9th year surge. I don't think he's going to grab enough to push through. He'll stay in the Hall of Very Good, but not in the Hall of Fame. Another name from last year, A-Rod. In his first year, he did get 34.3%, but he does have the steroids taint over his head. So I'm really curious to see, is he going to go up or is he going to kind of stay stagnant for a while? Manny's still on there, Omar Vizquel, a couple others. And we do have one guy who's on his 10th year, final year. That's Jeff Kent. Last year, he was at 32.7%. I do not see Jeff Kent picking up enough votes anywhere to jump up ahead and hop in this year, which it's a pity. He was a good player, but I think like Sheffield, he is going to remain in the Hall of Very Good, but not the Hall of Fame. Guys, we're not going to make formal predictions tonight. We can save that for a New Year's episode closer to when they actually release the ballots. But what are you guys thinking of the new guys? I know Carlos Beltran almost seems like a shoo-in, but he's also tied in with the Astros cheating scandal. But that, where are they going to fall with that? Because
I don't see the Beltran stuff being as difficult, because you had every baseball writer on the freaking planet trying to say, well, now you can look past the 2017 World Series. And so with the writers, I don't think Beltran, that whole involvement really matters to them. So I think you won't see too much of a penalty there. It's the same reason I think A-Rod got as much vote as he did last year, is because he's now on TV and he's built up some goodwill that he spent when he was a player. So,
tell that to the Dodgers fans who got absolutely hosed back in 2017 that we can now look past the Astros cheating. I know I heard that argument too, Joe, and I think it's absolute crap.
Yeah.
Well, and it was like every baseball writer out there was saying that. Like there were very few that were like, no, I'm not going to. So
the only one of the newcomers that I think really stands a chance at making the Hall of Fame would be Carlos Beltran. Looking at the rest of these names, I don't really see any Hall of Famers in that list. I see a lot of really good players, but I don't see anybody that's going to have the numbers overall, offensively, defensively, accolades to warrant Hall of Fame votes.
I could see K-Rod. I could see, now that the Hall of Fame is slowly starting to accept relievers, I could see K-Rod getting in there at some point. Houston Street, I don't. I'm not really. I think he's going to fall off after one ballot.
Yeah,
but
I think you're going to see most of these guys fall off of after one ballot. I think you're only going to see Beltran stay on. If K-Rod stays on, it's going to be by like the skin of his teeth.
Jason Worth might hang on for a couple years, but I don't think he's going to make it all the way. Same with Lackey. Hold on one sec. I was just
Jason Worth, while he was a well-rounded player, did not put up the career numbers that warrant the Hall of Fame.
Here's the thing. K-Rod did have 437 saves. And that was over how many years did he play? He played quite a few years. He did have a 16-year career as a closer. I know. It's like we're going to let some closers in, we're not going to let others. Some are going to get in by committee. 437 is a pretty damn solid number. We only have two guys in the 500 saves club. So I could see him hanging on long enough to get enough votes towards the end of his 10-year run on the ballot to get in, kind of like what we're seeing with Billy Wagner getting that late surge and late push. He won't be first ballot. I completely agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not the premier editions that we're going to be seeing over the next couple years, where the ballot will quickly get crowded with guys that will be in their first, second, third years. So, this is a big year for Scott Rowland and Todd Helton to pick up enough votes, because think about the guys that just dropped off last year. Bonds is off. Schilling is off.
Clemens.
Yeah, Clemens is off. That's votes that are open back up that are now available because of this ridiculous 10-player maximum. So
I will be shocked if Scott Rowland does not get in this next year.
Here's the thing. I could see if he doesn't make it this year, I could see him not getting in at all because of, we talked about this earlier this year during the Hall of Fame week, that there is so much talent coming in on the next couple ballots after this one that if he doesn't get it this year, he might just not have enough votes because the quality of player that are being added, not because of anything he wasn't able to do.
Yeah, and that's why I think you'll see him get in this year. I think the writers are going to recognize that, or the voters are going to recognize that, and they're going to be like, you know what? He needs to be in there. Let's get him in, open these votes up again for next year's class. Or what you'll see is in next year's class, the newer squad that's strong, you'll see a bunch of them get that I think it's 5% you need to get, or 6%. Mm-hmm. I forget the actual percentage that you need to stay on.
5%.
I think you'll see them get just enough to stay on the ballot while they let Rowland finish out, and then you'll see a big jump the following year.
Yeah. It's the 10-vote maximum. Can we up it to 12 or 15? Because there's so many players that get hosed by it, and it's such an arbitrary number. Anyway. So that's the that's the Hall of Fame ballot. The ballots are due by the end of the year. The results will be announced sometime in January, usually second, third week of the month. So as soon as that's announced, we will have it up on the page, and we will have an episode shortly thereafter saying what did they get right and what did they get wrong, because hey, that's what we do. And it's fun. All right. Hey, babe, come on over. Jason, bring Karen in.
She's right here.
All right. So, Joe, you said Kat's not available tonight?
No.
All right, too bad. All right, well, we've got two of the three wives hopping on as we go into our last regular section of the night. The Minnesota Twins released their new uniforms, and although my lovely wife Ariel and Karen are not the biggest baseball fans in the world, I'm sure they have a much better. Oh yeah.
Oh no!
Hold on, let me take the overlay off here.
Put the overlay over your face, Andrew.
Yeah,
right?
I should. Yeah, hold on.
Here, we also need to.
One of us deserves to be seen more.
Chairs.
No, just scoot over.
No, it's in that corner.
Ready? Are you ready for this? I work in IT, friends.
Yeah, you work in IT, and you just screwed my screen up. Good job.
Oh no.
Yeah, you did.
We also need to do a what are you drinking, because I believe the ladies have drinks with them tonight.
Fire away, babe.
Hi, bestie.
Hi, bestie. Cheers. We're finally on the show.
I know. I am not wearing a baseball shirt.
I got one.
No.
She doesn't need to put the Brave stuff on, Andrew. It's okay.
No, not Braves. No.
Do you want me to run over some Philly stuff?
Yes, please.
Oh, Ella's going to get the Ichiro jersey.
New Trail, Broken Heels, a classic.
Mike's Hard Blue Freeze.
Hell yeah.
I'm not sure what it tastes like, but it's good.
Karen's not as much of a beer drinker as others are. You prefer like the. Let me see what this is like.
It tastes like blue.
It tastes like blue.
I don't want to wear a Mariners jersey.
Gatorade, maybe.
Players who ever played.
That tastes like a blue slushy, like a blue raspberry slushy.
Yeah.
Ooh,
There you go.
I want that.
That does make it very weird with the red ale, though.
12 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh, I don't know if you were listening earlier, but it's our 69th show.
Nah.
Yeah, no, your joke. Absolute.
Yeah, I said I feel like that we're at the climax of the season, but I guess we're a little late.
Also, can I say how sexist it is that you're bringing your wives on for the 69th show?
Yeah.
Just like let's
I mean,
look
we got here first, and then you can just kind of mop up at the end.
Karen, you're
Somebody's sleeping on the couch tonight again.
That's his normal bed.
True.
I'll take the recliner. The recliner has massage and heat. I'll take that.
No.
That's better than
I was
a bed.
about to say she's not going to let you have that tonight. So
Yeah,
Luna's
that's
going to
nice.
get the bed, and Jason's going to get the front porch. Got it.
Joe, please send my love to Kat. It's been too long.
Will do.
All right, guys. So we are going to look at the new Twins uniform since we have an outside perspective here. I'm just going to present my screen here.
I care about nothing.
You ready?
Wait, no, I want to see it at the same time Ella sees it.
Well, let's see if
We're
it's
in this
gonna let
together.
me do this. And
Okay.
Here we go. All right, so here we go. This is the so that we have a new primary cap logo here. We've got the old one. They got rid of the serifs, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, brightened up the wishbone C. I actually kind of like how this looks here. And then
I don't like the new red.
you like the older red better?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, for the new home whites, you've got the script twins.
There's no way you can see that. That's way too small.
Quite honestly, I'm only looking at the butts, so.
Oh,
Is that better?
Hey-o.
Okay. but second in from the left, no.
That's a
Wow.
very aggressive stance.
Simply no.
Wow. Anyway, script. The interesting thing here with this is that the Twins went with twins in red, even though I more think of them as a Navy team with red accent. But hey, whatever. The numbers are navy below that. They've got that red, white, and blue piping on the legs of the pants. The numbers in the back are red, but the names in the back are navy, which is a little bit odd if you ask me.
It's reversed from the front.
Yeah,
You
Right.
don't like it?
I don't know yet. I'm just saying what's there.
I love that.
This is the patch logo.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
that's fun.
That's nice.
The odd thing about that, though, it's that hypocycloid. What do you think of when you see that? You think of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Not at all.
Why would I think of the Steelers?
I'll say I didn't think of the Steelers.
Not at all.
Okay,
No.
so the only time I can think of seeing that in sports is the Steelers.
No.
Okay.
Obviously, it's where
As
they
usual,
are.
you're wrong about everything.
Yeah. well,
I mean,
no,
I get where you're coming from because it is the same style,
Guys,
but that's not what I
do
think.
not
of when I
justify his
first see it.
madness. No.
oh, whatever.
No, wait, can we go back to that? Go back.
Sorry. Going back.
Andrew.
Is that sparkly?
No.
It's not. It's just because of the lighting.
Guy.
Oh, that's even
No.
better.
It is not a Deborah Ann Kleinsmith special with extra glitter.
I wish it was.
Nope, it's the night sky. It's all stars.
I love
And
that.
the reason for that, again, it's I believe that's the Minneapolis St. Paul area that the red star is in, but it
Yes.
also represents Minnesota being the North Star state.
Correct.
Oh, love that.
Aren't you just a nerd?
It's just what they say.
Again, I'm surprised.
No. Absolutely not. Don't like.
All right, so these are the road grays. So this is the
Gross.
hat with the grays. I actually kind of like the hat, sort of.
The hat's
Um,
nice.
I think there's another blown up shot of it below. But here's what I do like about these road grays. I love the pinstripes. I hate the side piping.
Who
why
likes
do you have-
stripes?
their baseball jerseys. Pinstripes look great in baseball jerseys.
Especially those red pinstripes in Philadelphia.
I like those jerseys, actually.
Hell yeah. Go Phils.
Look at the Yankees. That's a classic look. The most classic pinstripe look there is. Here's the thing. If you're doing pinstripes, why do you have the side piping on the leg? That's dumb.
That's a whole lot of stripes.
Anyway, it's Minnesota on the chest.
But I like how it mimics what's happening on the sleeves.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
Good
you
call.
don't need it,
Thank
though. You just don't need it.
It is matchy-matchy.
It brings
Get with
it
it, Andrew.
together. It brings it together.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like that shade of gray, though. It looks like it just didn't get clean in the wash, and it's like a dirty sock.
Right.
So that's why
I do like the font, though.
that's why road uniforms are gray, because back before teams had regular laundry facilities at every stop, that's why they wore road gray, so it would hide the dirt better.
Okay.
Hey, true story. Here's
So
here's a look at
for
the
this
odd
one,
numbers.
I don't know if you guys can see me, but like, okay.
They probably can't see you right now because I'm sharing the tab in the screen.
That's fine.
I see you.
So the red numbers here, the only issue I have is the way that the 2 and the 5 end so close together.
Yeah, it's weird.
I
to
like
me,
the font. I like it.
To
It's
me,
like-
it looks like that they're clapping, like almost. It makes me think. It makes me think of the Nutty Professor with Hercules.
You see, this is why I said in the group chat that I want Scranton to get a team called the Electric City. Use this style of number, but put prongs on the end to just play that off.
Ooh.
Anyway, I like the font. It's very classic.
Hmm?
I don't know. It
Yeah.
gives me like
It's-
a really old timey vibe.
Paul Lucas on UniWatch literally said it looked like they took the serifs off the T and stuck them on the numbers because they needed to do something.
No,
with
I
them.
like it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's just the high five
You
clapping
know
thing
what
is
it
a little
reminds
weird.
me of? Like an old school arcade.
Yeah, I
really
can see that.
I like it.
I can see that.
Joe, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care for the serif either, but you know, whatever. It's not my team. It's not my team. I don't have to look at it. So.
Right?
That's
Right?
true.
Oh, he
That's
thought
how
of
it
the
looks.
Steelers too.
Oh, see, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. I knew it couldn't just be me. All right. So
I think he just wanted you to
Although
feel
I
better.
also don't care about football,
The best
so
part of this gray uniform is the hat.
I
yeah,
love
so
the hat.
so here's a close up of the hat. You know, one thing I wish they would have done, I wish they would have outlined the star so it pops a little more,
No, it looks good.
but it does look good, although the M really reminds me of a Miami M.
Yeah.
That's the same
Little
style
bit,
they use on
yeah.
their hats.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
It's simple, but it works.
yeah, absolutely. Sometimes simple is better. Now, this is what should be the regular home
Oof.
uniforms.
I love it.
These are great. They're Twin City home
Oh,
I love
that's so
that.
much better.
And they're like a
This-
green, it looks.
This should be the freaking home uniform, not the other.
Yeah.
one.
No, that's so
Yeah.
good.
And I actually like that they don't do any red accenting on the front. It's just a clean navy
Yeah.
and white. The hats. Now I'm sure they can use either hat, but they went with a white,
Love it.
plain white hat. And here, let me get you the next picture because it's got a close up of the sleeve patch. I
Yeah.
love that sleeve patch.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the
That's cool.
Minneapolis St. Paul
Yep, the
logos
Twin
that
City.
are in the outfield too.
Mhm.
At Target Field, they have a home run thing that goes off, similar to like how the Braves have the tomahawk coming down. It's
Are they sponsored by Target?
Their field's called Target Field,
their field is Target Field,
Target?
as in Target.
Yes.
as in Target.
This
All
is my
the
new
question.
team. No, I am
Is
now.
there a Target in Target Field?
I doubt it.
This is my
I
new
wouldn't be
team.
shocked there.
Noah is now a Twins fan.
I
Um,
am. For sure.
But basically, so they're in the outfield. They have like this big neon thing. It's the outline is the state of Minnesota, and you have two players, one with that M and one with the STP on it, and they basically are shaking hands whenever there's a home run.
So
That's
cool.
cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I wish they'd make
I
this the
actually might be
primary
a fan
home.
of that.
I wish they'd make this the primary home and play that off more. This is a great uniform.
Do I understand anything about baseball? No, but like I'm sold.
Yeah, no, this is the best uniform of the entire
I
new
like
set.
it.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Sexist also that you're having your wife sit in on the uniform rating. I don't love that.
Because you know
The only
anything
part of
about the
baseball I know.
awards?
I know I don't, but I'm
So,
just saying,
yeah,
like you bring us
exactly.
in, you're like, oh, rate the fashion.
Who knows
clear, I had
fashion
nothing
better,
to do
you
with it.
or me? Yeah, exactly. It's not
Just to
sexy.
be clear, I had nothing to do with it.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah, you were the smart one.
Here's to you. Way to not be sexist.
Yeah,
Love
here's
it.
another close up of
Oh.
the patch. That's beautiful.
Oh,
No, I like it.
Yeah, this
I
is
like
this
it a
is great.
lot.
and
All
it's
right.
glittery.
Scroll
Not
down.
glitter.
Now here is the Navy alternate jersey. This can be worn home or away.
Love it.
Yeah.
I
What?
don't care for
Are
it.
you joking?
It doesn't do much for
Hold
me.
on, the sleeve.
Andrew, are you on crack?
Yeah, he is. It's fine.
I wish.
I would
Well,
take
that. This is second for sure.
What? You wish you were on crack?
No, it's a joke.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But look at the pants, like with the.
So, no, so here's the thing. It could be used with any of the pants that they
Okay, so
release.
second to the left in this picture, 10 out of 10.
He is feeling it.
10 out of 10.
Here's the one. Here's the big negative to this jersey. Using the red lettering for the name on the back, that's
What?
going to
You
be
don't-
very hard to see.
Okay. But like, who cares?
People watching the game who don't follow the Twins and have no clue who's on that team.
But who cares?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would just be like, look, it's the third base guy.
Exactly.
Third base.
Who cares?
So yeah, so that's the
No, I
Twins
like them.
uniforms.
I like them mostly.
Honestly, it really is a solid set. Small quibbles here and there, but it's definitely one of the better sets that we have seen put out by any team recently, because let's face it, some of the newer ones, especially some of these City Connect jerseys, have been really bad. So that's
like
good.
who?
I didn't like some
half of them.
Yeah.
Mm,
Chicago's were bad.
I need to see.
The
pictures.
Dodgers were really bad.
No, not right now.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures later.
Thank
The
you.
Dodgers, I think, I think we can, for the most part, agree the Dodgers had by far the worst City Connect jerseys. We're close to it.
I forget what some of them were. So
The Dodgers were just blue.
it was just like
Dodgers
all
uniforms.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Cubs did all blue too, but at least they did like Wrigleyville and played to the area. Whereas
Yeah.
I think the
It
Dodgers
literally just said Dodgers on it.
yeah, I think it literally said Los Dodgers.
Yeah.
So
I like
0
that.
out of 10 for creativity. Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
Houston had like Space City and
Yeah, they
Next
played off the
time we
NASA
do
theme.
this, I'm gonna put this on because I don't like wearing it like a shawl. But
Well,
next
then put it
time,
on.
next time we do
Jesus.
this, I need Philly stuff.
No. You
I
can
got
get it from them.
Ella, I think you should ask Andrew for that for Christmas.
Yeah.
I think you should make him buy you some Phillies gear.
Yes.
Here's the problem. She
He
usually
won't.
puts me on a budget for Christmas, and I have other stuff I want to get her before I
I
don't
do.
get her that.
He has a budget.
We should have planned ahead. That should have been a part of the bet, Jason.
Oh, should have.
Yeah.
Yep, you snooze, you lose, man.
Next year.
I remember for next year.
You think the Phillies are going to make it back next year? Very brave of you.
I'm gonna be a
I
Philly
do.
fan. Wait,
Yeah, I do
when
too.
does
I don't think they're
baseball
going to make it
start
back to the
again?
World Series. Spring training is February.
It's like
17th.
mid-February is when the pitchers and catchers report.
The beginning of February, I am a Phillies fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna learn everything about them. That's my personality now.
February 14th is report day.
At least one person in your household will have good taste, Andrew, finally.
Oh, Ben likes the Phillies.
Ben likes the Cubs.
He likes both.
Ben
So
likes the Phillies
Ben
because it
likes
makes
the
me
Cubs.
mad.
Ben likes the Cubs, but he likes the Phillies because it's the Pennsylvania team.
No, Ben likes the Phillies because it makes me and Jason mad.
Wow.
Good.
Let's be
Attaboy.
real here.
Oh
Ben,
boy.
That's
if
a huge
me and
deal
Jason
for
didn't
you.
care,
Same,
Ben wouldn't care about the
Good.
same though.
Good.
It's why I root for the Eagles. It's why I root
I
for
don't care
pretty
about
much
the Eagles. I
One,
only cared about the Eagles one time.
Sixers.
Karen sang the Sixers song
Why do the Sixers have a song?
because they're good.
Should I be a Sixers
Really?
fan
Trust the process?
too?
You should.
Yes.
Okay, it's done.
I thought you were a Lakers fan because you're an LA girl.
That was high school me. Grown
Ella,
up me.
Ella, when we're done, I'll send you a link to the song they play. It's an old classic song, and only fairly recently they started playing it at the end of every Sixers win at home.
Perfect.
And it's very catchy. It's fantastic, and you'll
I
love
mean,
it.
you guys fostered my love for basketball. I am excited
Although-
actually for basketball season.
Let's be real. I'd rather
Yay!
watch college hoops than NBA hoops 9 times out of 10.
Well, yeah.
So much better to watch. But yeah.
What's next?
I don't know. Did I have anything else after the Twins uniforms? I don't think I did.
Pulling up my sheet here.
No, I don't think I did.
Nope.
You
Nope,
just wanted
that's
our
it.
opinion on the uniforms?
No, now I thought you and Karen. So Joe, that's I think that's all the baseball related stuff. So if you want to cut out so you can get some sleep.
Wait, we could talk about
Wait,
baseball
don't
stuff.
stay. Where are you going? Stay.
Yeah.
Joe's like, I guess I'm going nowhere.
You're stuck.
I was gonna go, but
Andrew, this is the part of the show where we give Ella and Karen the closing, and we just leave and let them finish out.
Nah.
You will
I
lose.
figure we were just gonna give them random topics and see where they
Go.
run with it.
Do it.
Yes,
Let's
do
go.
Go
it.
ahead,
Go.
Jason. You're up.
Are we talking baseball related topics?
I don't care. Pick a topic.
Oh
Please
my
choose
god.
nothing related to the fact that it's your 69th episode. Thank you.
Well, I know what Jason's gonna pick.
All right, since you said that now, so what is your favorite? I'll keep it semi-sports related for this. What is your favorite game day evening snack?
Oh, I like that. All right, Karen, do you want to go first?
Where am I?
Wherever you want to be.
Like, am I there or am I here?
That does make a difference.
It does.
It does,
Both.
yeah.
Both.
If it's here, it's your buffalo chicken dip.
Okay.
Oh,
It's amazing.
hell yeah.
And then if I'm there, either just a classic hot dog,
Mm.
or if I'm in Philly, Chicky and Pete's, because I can down those crab fries.
The
And-
cheese is what makes those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well,
Okay, so same, because I've only ever been to, what is it, Citizens Bank?
and Turner Field.
EBT.
Okay.
You got it. Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, Citizens Bank. You've been to Citizens Bank Park and you've been to Turner Field, and you've also been down to Lancaster 1,000 times.
Okay, so like nachos are always my go-to
Mhm.
at a stadium. Like, just love me some nachos. But the Philly Stadium with the Chickies and Pete's,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But if I'm here, I don't know. What do we eat on sport days?
Well, you make the really, really delicious
The bacon dip.
the bacon cheese dip.
I do.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's
It's good enough that my dad has requested it multiple times when he hosts us to watch the Super Bowl.
true.
Okay.
Wow.
It's good.
It's Rich Miller approved.
But I have to cook it. So like
Yeah, but it comes in a crock pot.
There's still prep work in
Andrew,
there.
just so you know,
We're involved there, dude. Like,
I know.
you'd be
I
sleeping
know.
outside at this point. Holy hell!
I work outside. I sleep outside. What else is new?
Crockpot's not cooking. What else are you doing?
I didn't say it wasn't cooking. I said you don't have to do as much with it.
No,
It's just
she goes,
prep
I have
work.
to cook it. And you go, it's in the crock pot.
You still have
You
to
just
prep
have to do the
everything.
prep work. You don't have to
thank
monitor
you
it the whole
guys.
time.
Listen,
No, you have to like stir it.
Andrew's
so it
in-
doesn't
you are
stick.
my favorite humans right now.
Andrew's
You have to
immediately
put
regretting
all
his
the
decision to
bacon,
have
and
the
then have
lives
to, like,
on.
mix
And
all
who
the
fries
ingre-
the bacon?
Okay, that's fair. He fries the bacon.
Thank you. So the worst of the prep work is done by moi.
So, Joe, what's your favorite game day stuff?
Live streaming or divorce. That's what's happening.
Man,
Joe's like,
I
this
didn't take a
is
full
pretty
drink
good.
before she said that.
Jeez,
All right,
I gotta get
so
some
go
popcorn.
ahead.
This is fun.
Joe, you're gonna need more whiskey for this.
No,
I just
I'm
finished
good.
my beer.
Oh,
Go get more. Karen can hold down your screen.
Yeah, I can.
yes, you can.
69th episode, baby.
Joe, what's your favorite game?
Here, I'll mute Karen. Go ahead, Joe.
Honestly, I mean, for me, if I'm at the game, if I were at Wrigley, it doesn't really matter where I'm at as far as a ballpark's concerned. It's a hot dog or a pretzel and a beer. That's kind of my go-to at the stadium for sure. At home, it kind of just depends on the situation, really.
Yeah.
That's
What kind
fair.
of game it is? What kind of game it is? Do I really care to watch it? You know, is it Notre Dame BC where I can relax at halftime, or is it Notre Dame Navy where I got to sweat it out? You know,
Yeah,
kind
that
of
would be
depends
nice.
what I'm.
Yeah.
Most of my
Cutting it
snacks.
out, wings are the obvious choice.
I don't eat wings, but I cook them pretty well. I like doing that, so I grill them.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Joe, why don't we hang out on game days? Right? Like I could give a shit about what's on the TV, but like the food?
That's why Karen likes going to Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about the game. It's let's get the good food and the halftime show.
I
Yeah.
have slept during the Super Bowl, woke up for the halftime, and then fell asleep for the rest of the game.
Oh yeah.
Accurate.
Point.
I mean, let's face it, the last Patriots Super Bowl kind of felt like that.
Who's the halftime show this year? This is not
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Oh, is it? Oh, that'll be good.
Yes.
I didn't hear it was announced.
Yeah, it's Rihanna.
No, it's not.
Nice.
She has a song in the new Black Panther movie.
No.
And it wrecks you. It's at the end and it wrecks you.
Stop.
Jason,
It's on the
I
radio
literally
too.
I cried during the trailer. I cried during the TikToks. Like I am going to literally need to be like rehydrated in a hospital after seeing that movie.
Yes.
I sobbed during Thor: Love and Thunder, sobbed during Endgame, and you're like, oh, I didn't cry during those, but definitely shed a tear during Wakanda Forever. And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, you're
I
screwed.
didn't just shed a
Literally.
tear. Like I had to wipe my eyes at Wakanda Forever.
It's the moment that I die. It is. Oh, tomorrow night. Can we go?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna see it tomorrow night. Stay tuned.
Yay!
Next week, Andrew's a widow. Widower.
Widower.
So
Let's
for
use
game
food.
days for food, since we need to wrap up with Andrew and myself here, then we'll go to another question. My buffalo chicken dip, I agree, would be one of my go-tos. Like I made it. I don't make it often, but I'll make it for like bigger events. Like I made it for game 1 of the World Series.
Make it for me. Why didn't we have
Okay.
that on election night?
Like yeah. My thing is like a lot of people make theirs with blue cheese. I'm not a blue cheese person, so I go with ranch.
Ooh, yeah.
And you get the Frank's Red Hot in there. It's so good. I load it with cheddar cheese and cream cheese. It has a good kick to it, but it's flavorful.
So I need that in my life.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And something that I tried recently, which turned out pretty good, it was cheeseburger tater tots.
Stop.
You take
Yes, it is, Ronald.
you take frozen tater tots, put like 3 or 4 in a muffin tins, cook them a little bit to get them crispy, then you mash them, and then you fill it with the burger and everything else, and then you recook it, and they come out like a muffin, but it's cheeseburger tater tots.
Interesting. All right.
Now.
At the game, if I'm in Philly, it would be the cheesesteak from Tony Luke's,
Fair.
or I really enjoy like soft pretzels at games. And then since baseball is in the summer shandy's flowing. So
Yeah. Summer Shandy is a great beer.
I do miss.
They have there that's like the Liberty Bell one. What was that called?
Oh, that was the IPA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Not my cup of tea, but
the thing that I do miss is Philly used to have what was called the Schmitter. It was in honor of Mike
I
Schmidt.
remember that thing.
And here's just a brief picture of it.
Yeah. That thing was a heart attack on a
It
bun.
was. You have the Kaiser bottom, cheese, shredded steak, fried onions, tomatoes, more cheese, grilled salami, a special sauce, more cheese, and then the Kaiser top. It's a heart attack on the bun, and it was one of the most amazing things I'd ever eaten. It's currently at McNally's Tavern is who does it in Chestnut Hill. They used to do it at the ballpark, but they no longer partnered with them.
That sounds amazing. Andrew just looked up something about a $25,000 burger.
So,
So,
hold on.
excuse my face right now.
Let me share the screen for this because this is ridiculous. After Atlanta won their World Series, yeah, hold on. Let me just pull the tab up over here. What is it?
Who would you pay that?
No, good God. Now, the $25,000, you actually get a ring with it, like a replica World Series ring.
Absolutely not.
This is the World Champions burger.
It's a burger.
I mean, I'm sure it's like Wagyu beef or something like that, but
It
still.
fucking better be. Oh, can I say that on here?
Yes, we've been swearing all night. We've been making 69.
By
What the
we,
hell do you think?
Andrew.
What's up, Jason?
I said by we, he means Andrew.
I just don't know. I don't know.
That's not
Just like it's our 69th episode. Does that mean that ends in disappointment?
What?
It's our 69th episode. Does that mean that purchase ends in disappointment and regret?
Of course it does.
I don't know.
Have you ever
I'd
had
take one of those
a
replica rings.
69th episode and in anything other than disappointment and regret?
Wow. So for me at a ballpark, give me a beer, give me a hot dog. Now, Jason,
He set me up for it. He set me up for it.
Of course he did.
That's what she
Have
said.
you met him? Of course he did.
Cheers to me.
And Jason, when I was with Matt, we were close enough to the world famous chicken sandwiches. I did enjoy a chicken sandwich. Yeah. Holy crap. I forgot how good those things are.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, that's the one big disadvantage of the 300 level is that the concessions up there are not great.
Ron, you have to eat cheesesteaks when you're at the Philly Stadium. Like, you just have to.
Yeah. So, Ron, when you say I had so many during Game 5,
I hope you had at least like 4 minimum.
over under, let's say 7.5. What are we thinking, guys? I'm going to say over.
So many.
That's going to be way under. From the 7.5, that's way under.
All right,
fine.
four.
5.
Over under 5.
4.
I'm going to say
I'm
under.
gonna say 4.
I'm going to say he had 3.
I vote 4.
But I know that he was getting them because I would message him.
I saw his comment and I had to respond.
I was messaging him during that game, or whenever he would message me, I would be like, "Oh man, that was 5. Nice, Ronnie."
Oh yeah, let's go, Ron. That's so good.
I was messaging him and be like, "Oh man, that was a great play," and he goes, "Yeah, I'm in the cheesesteak line."
I like where your head's at.
Me too, bud. Same.
The fun thing is, Jason, did we bring this up earlier during one of the Braves Philly series about the contest the opposing teams have when they come into Philadelphia for how many cheesesteaks they can eat? Did we bring that up? Okay. So I read an article about this. There is apparently a plaque that lives in the visiting team dugout at Philadelphia of different records for number of cheesesteaks consumed during a day, during the series as a team. Yeah, it's apparently a really intense contest, and like it's actually broken down between teams that are there for 3, 4, and 5 game series. Even like that's how tightly contested this is, because apparently, like that's the thing when teams come to Philadelphia, like the chefs just know don't even offer the visiting team anything else. They just want cheesesteak after cheesesteak after cheesesteak. And I mean, hey, it's Philly. It's the home of the best cheesesteak in the entire freaking world.
Although the ones at the stadium, trash.
Not Tony Luke's.
Okay,
Tony Luke's is good.
Tony Luke's are fine.
Tony Luke's are phenomenal.
But in general,
yeah, the generic ones are crap.
trash.
FYI, if you want Tony Luke's cheesesteaks without going all the way to Philly or Jersey or wherever, go to the new Hollywood Casino in like that at the Morgantown exit on the Turnpike.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the first exit after.
I can't go there.
No.
Were you banned?
No. My friend's ex works there, so like probably I would get.
There's
There's
a Tony Luke's in that casino.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We still have until the end of the year season passes to the Franklin Institute. So we could take the kids down and then go hit Tony Luke's and Pat's. What?
Do you take down my photo to hang up your Braves thing?
Yes, and then I put your photo back up because you've never noticed it until now.
Well, it's been fun.
Yep.
We're good. We're fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. They peaced out. They said bye.
All right.
Good.
So,
I never.
okay.
That's a pretty picture.
Which mall?
Ron, which mall? If you're talking about Park City, I literally haven't been in Park City, and
no, there isn't one there.
Oh no, at King of Prussia. There is.
Yeah,
King of Prussia probably has one. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Go
sense.
to King of Prussia.
Every time.
You first.
No. You
I
know what,
can't stand
Karen?
KOP.
Screw them.
I
You and
can't
I, let's go
yes,
to KOP.
Go to KOP. I can't stand that place.
You liked the mall in Syracuse.
Yeah.
It's the same mall.
No, it is not.
The
Destiny
USA Mall has like go-karts and
Better.
It's way better
but
than KOP.
ultimately.
But I mean, if we went back to Destiny USA,
so
we
far
could
off
leave the boys.
Unreal.
All right, Joe. What's the next question you're throwing out?
Yeah, Joe. What's your question?
I don't have a question, man. I'm just watching this happen.
Joe's just watching the train wreck.
I'm here for it.
Joe's popping popcorn in the background, pulling a Chad Johnson.
Look, I'm Heath Ledger in the Dark Knight, man. I just want to watch the world burn. So
you have to know that before I drank the regular Broken Heels, I drank the Broken Heels Double, which is a 9.2.
I thought you were going to save the double for the show.
Oh no, absolutely not. I had to pregame because I have to talk about baseball, and I know nothing about that. So that's like so much anxiety. I had to be pre-drunk. I had to be pre-drunk.
Pre-tipsy. All right. Karen,
what's
you
your
got a question?
No, you ask.
I'd say one of the girls. How about one of the girls? One of you two. Because
I don't want to ask.
That question's going to be really good, I'm sure.
I don't know what to ask. Karen,
Any question. It
Karen,
can be little...
You're an excellent interviewer.
it doesn't have to be a baseball question. It can be any question.
Oh, Ron, I know absolutely nothing about baseball. Karen at least kind of knows. I don't know about Kat, but like I am not a sports girl, right? I am a theater and music and like artsy kind of girl. That was your mistake.
Years before I met her, my wife mistaken the Oakland Raiders as a hockey team.
I did not give you permission to air my dirty laundry on a podcast.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Yes, at one point in
What do
time.
the Raiders play?
I don't know.
Oakland Raiders. You know this.
They're not basketball.
No, so then they're what?
Football.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, fuck you, Karen. God damn it. How dare you get that right?
I'm sorry.
Sometimes what I want to do is permission to tell the one hockey story about a logo.
Yes,
I didn't give permission for this. So.
Go ahead.
So sometime I want to show Karen hockey logos and have her guess the team name. because I showed her. Let me pull up. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
pull
like
up.
on the off season of baseball, can we do this?
So
Yes.
I'm going
I
to
will
pull. I'm pulling up this logo, and Ella, I want you to tell me the name of this
I
team.
gotta stand for this shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
you are
let's
pretty
go.
short.
Jason, I don't. The fucking blue whales. I don't know.
That's not terrible, actually.
So-
as far as this goes.
So
Do you want to give it the city name at least?
No, Joe and
Okay.
Andrew. Do you want to fill them in?
Go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead. You take it.
Karen, your laugh. I can't.
Jason, the logo went down. Is that Calgary?
No, that is the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, that's right. That's the Canucks. Yeah.
Exactly what I thought it was.
Which first off, Karen goes, well,
That's a
when
beluga. First of all.
I showed Karen that logo,
No.
I said, "Who is this team name?" She goes, "The Whalebirds."
No.
I
See,
said,
Yeah.
See, and
no.
ever since you said that story, I cannot look at that logo and think Canucks
It looks
anymore.
like a whale.
It is a whale.
What is a fucking Canuck?
Right?
It's a Canadian.
Why not just say
What-
Canadian?
Hey, Joe, what's
A
a
Canuck
Hoosier?
is,
Why
a
do they
Canuck
view
is the
themselves?
nickname for a
Hold on.
Canadian.
No. Why do they view themselves as whales?
Because I believe Vancouver is in the western part of Canada. Vancouver is in the western part of Canada, which I believe is well known for having orca whales. So they are the Vancouver Canucks, which is why you get the C, and they have that.
Why not
So-
just be the orcas?
Right. Be the fucking orcas.
Because they're the
Make
Canadians.
it simple.
Do you want to know what the Montreal Canadiens used to be called, and why their logo has the
Sure.
C and the H?
Sure.
They used to be the Habitats, which is why they're also nicknamed the Habs.
What?
Habitats, like Habitats for Humanity. Only that's not what it actually is for.
I'm so
I
confused.
hate sports so much.
Yep, we are definitely going to be doing this in the off season. Is having
Oh, absolutely. This will be great. But anyway,
Wait,
Joe, what's a
the
Hoosier
free
again?
cat.
Does it really matter? Like,
Yes.
I am kind of curious now, Joe. What's a Hoosier?
Well, Kat, do this with us because, it is embarrassing, and I need her here also. Female solidarity.
Oh, we could family feud it.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Don't you need to get things right though to get points?
Okay, fuck you. Sincerely, love you with all of my heart. Right?
You're a
But,
dick.
Fuck off.
I'm your dick. 69th episode.
Next episode, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is literally what she said.
It is.
So anyway, Joe, Hoosiers?
hey, man.
Joe's like, please get me out of here.
Just like, what's that, cat? Oh, okay. Sorry, guys, I gotta go.
Because I was literally at a Penn State, Indiana basketball game back in spring 07 in Indiana and asked 18 students sitting around me, and not one of them could tell me what a fucking Hoosier is.
Whatever.
What is it?
I don't think it exists.
I don't know. You just know. It's really hard to explain.
That's fair. No,
It's literally just called it's a native
hard
born
to
habitat in
explain.
I
Indiana.
understand that.
No,
Right.
don't Google it. That's no fun.
So it's a habitat.
Yeah, it's like a Canadian.
A Hoosier just
See,
is what it
I feel-
is.
I feel
it just
like-
is what it is.
See, I feel like they came up with Hoosier back when Indiana sports were powerhouse. So they could just continuously chant Hoosier Daddy.
Hey, it works, doesn't it?
Hoosier is
Well,
the
I mean, they did
official.
years ago when they were good.
Hoosier.
Episode, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize.
Hoosier is the official demonym for the people of the U.S. state of Indiana. The origin of the term remains a matter of debate, but Hoosier was in general used by the 1840s, having been popularized by Richmond resident John Finley's 1833 poem, The Hoosier's Nest.
Sure.
So it's a bird,
It's a native of Indiana.
but it has a nest. That's a bird.
Well, when you set down your roots, you build your nest.
If you set down your
Like-
roots,
like-
you're a
like-
tree.
Like when
Very
people leave
speaking, we don't
home,
talk
they're
like
called
that
the
here.
empty nest.
No.
Honey,
We do not talk like that here.
I'll be right back. I'm getting another beer.
Get one for me too, honey.
You got me on the patriarchy. Andrew needs to drink.
So Ella, now I need to know your question. I want to know your question now, and it doesn't have to be sports related, since you said you like music and theater and all that stuff.
Oh, shoot.
You're in trouble.
Why would you put me on the spot like that, Jason?
Hey, I started.
One,
No, I thought we were friends.
because it's
Guess what?
Do you want me to buy you some time?
no.
got
Go
one.
ahead, Jason.
Favorite sports movie?
Oh man. See, this is why when we did this before, we broke it up into sections of different sports. Because
No, just in general.
Yeah.
Top sports movie. Should I go first? I'll go first. Ready? It's A League of Their Own. Thank you. Goodbye.
Great movie.
Okay.
Excellent choice.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe. What's
Gina
up?
Davis,
What's your
should I
pick?
say no more? Next.
Hoosiers.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to pick one out of all of the sports movies.
All right. So let's go with favorite baseball related movie.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
That narrows it 2%.
Baseball. No, that narrows it a lot.
It narrows it down a good bit.
That means you can't say
Baseball
Cool Runnings.
dominates the
No,
list. of best
I
movies
mean,
all
baseball
time.
movies. It's down to 2 for me. So I mean, I would say it's 1 and 1A for me. It's The Natural and Field of Dreams. Those are my 1 and 1A. It's really you're splitting hairs at this point to pick between those two. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh,
No, what I was trying to say is because baseball has so many amazing movies compared to the other sports.
Also fair. What's yours?
And I think Andrew's just saying that because his overall favorite movie is $1 Million Baby, and he roots for the stool.
oh wow.
Or
If
not.
Andrew doesn't say The
Or not.
Sandlot, he's canceled. Joking, obviously.
Sandlot is one of my favorite baseball movies. It's
'Cause
not my favorite.
great.
No, The Natural is my favorite baseball movie. Has
Fair.
been for years. Yeah, Sandlot's right behind it. So is Field of Dreams. So is League of Their Own. Another one that I really love, just because it's absolutely hilarious, Bull Durham. Just love that movie. And
What?
you've never, oh Jesus. Okay, we'll watch that. If you could sit through Austin Powers, you'll love Bull Durham. Another baseball, it's not one of the all-time great baseball movies, but I showed the kids and they were cracking up the whole time. Ed, the story of Mickey Mantle's chimp. It's not one of the great ones, but it's just so funny.
There's a
What?
couple sad parts you wouldn't like it.
Okay.
All right. You two. Go.
I know yours.
I mean, I can't say Space Jam and I can't say Cool Runnings. So
The Jamaican
I know you're
Rudy.
team.
That's football.
I've also never seen it.
He was offsides. It's okay.
Listen, baby, baseball movie. It's a
I know her answer.
We have to try.
Oh, she has a favorite baseball movie. I know exactly what it is.
What is it?
For Love of the Game.
Great choice.
I have not seen that.
It's Kevin Costner. It's so good.
I will love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. That's one of my favorites. Like if that's on TV, I'll definitely put that one on.
Sure.
I'm torn for this one because I do really enjoy A League of Their Own.
love that movie.
But I think one of the greatest baseball movies of all time is not one that any of you have mentioned, Major League.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
So hilarious.
I'll show it to you sometime. It's phenomenal.
I've never seen it.
You need to see that one. It's like Charlie Sheen, Oh my gosh. He's a very, 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 very minor character.
What's that?
But the janitor from Scrubs, Neil Flynn, is in it.
Say less.
Oh, he's
I'm in.
he's literally in like 2 or 3 scenes. That's it.
No, I'm in.
If you like, oh my god, his name's leaving me now. But the Allstate guy, Dennis Haysbert, he's in it.
The Allstate guy.
That's Allstate, Stan.
Oh, love him. Cool. I'm in. Done.
It's great. You would like that one. It's hilarious. It's not one for the kids,
No, it's not.
but
Nope.
I like 42.
42
42 is really good.
42
Yeah.
has a special
Good
place.
question.
Chadwick. Yeah,
Have I seen that?
I have it. I own it.
Chadwick
Just-
Boseman.
Yeah.
That's the Chadwick Boseman movie.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for sure.
That was phenomenal.
100%.
It was really well done.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Like, as the resident feminist, liberal baby right over here, just like A League of Their Own, that's the movie, right? Like, you think baseball movie and you're like, oh, League of Their Own, Gina Davis.
That's the problem. You say you think baseball movie. Baseball has had so many freaking amazing
Women
movies.
kept baseball alive.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I'm not saying
Women.
they didn't. I'm not even saying A League of Their Own isn't one of the greatest baseball
Also,
movies of all time. I
But,
love
like,
that movie.
Can we focus on something?
I'm just saying
why-
there's so
Why
many of
after
them.
the war, right? So, like, why after the war did female professional baseball go away?
Little Big League. Yeah, Ronnie.
Don't change the subject here.
It's a public
It's a
comment.
comment.
I'm
It's a
paying
comment.
attention. It's my
Yes,
job
we
to do
should-
that.
We should pay attention to the comments. Well, that's it.
Little Big League. That's a good movie as well.
Never seen it. I will watch it on your recommendation, Ron. However, I'm just saying, why did female baseball go away? Right? So, like, why are females now resorted to softball?
Well, they're not anymore.
They're not.
Um,
In
You
the,
Couldn't tell.
in the Atlantic
You-
League, there is she an outfielder and a pitcher?
Kelsey
Sorry.
Whitmore, she's an outfielder and a
This is
pitcher.
Dan's Dollar Dogs and Beer podcast. Andrew is married to a very outspoken human. Okay, so go on.
Doesn't bother me.
Kelsey Whitmore for the Staten Island Ferry Hawks became the first female professional player, woman in especially Atlantic League history. She pitched and she hit and she fielded.
She had a decent season, if I remember right, too.
She did okay.
It's the Atlantic League, dude.
Yeah. But you are also seeing a lot more women starting to get into executive roles and coaching roles, things like that. I believe the Giants have or maybe that's
Nope, the Marlins. So
Yeah.
the Marlins now have.
Wait,
I told you about
hated
this.
this jersey, but now I think I like it. Go on.
The Marlins. That's the Mariners, by the way, not Marlins.
Fuck you. God damn it.
The Marlins are the first professional sports organization, probably in the world, to have all of their day-to-day operations run entirely by women. As they just hired.
Love that
no, they
fact,
promoted from
Ron.
within.
Thank you.
I can't
Put
remember
that
her
up.
name,
Put
but
it up. Put it up.
yes. Oh, that's awesome, Ronnie.
Yeah.
The Marlins promoted from within, and their president of baseball operations is a woman. Kim Eng, their GM, is a woman.
Here's the thing, right?
So
Okay.
it's integration is slowly happening in baseball, and I would like to
Women
point
don't
out
need to
to
take
you.
over
I
baseball.
would like to point out to you that I make sure we mention it on the show every damn time it happens.
I appreciate that.
Thanks to
That
you.
shows how much I listen. Oh. Anyway, I'm not saying that women need to be like the face of baseball, right? But like there needs to be integration
Yes,
and
they do.
equity in sports, just in general. Like,
Yes,
we
Ronnie.
have some in
No,
the
go for it.
NFL too now.
Mhm.
yes. And like I think in football,
There's a lot more female refs in the NFL
in
too.
Correct.
football, it's been coming for a really long time,
Mhm.
right? And so like
Yes, coaches in
basketball,
there.
we have the WNBA, that's great. Like there are places where women have rights and like there's equity, but I feel like baseball is a mostly male driven sport and it's a male
it has been
driven
for a long time.
environment. And
Yeah, and really, Ella,
women.
the answer to your question of why did women's baseball go away after the war is not the most appropriate answer. It's honestly, it's because of the way that the times were. Baseball is such an old sport, and it's one where the reason it stopped literally was because the men came home.
Yeah.
As unfortunate as
So, like that's
as
the answer
unreal
I
as it
knew.
is.
Like I already knew the answer.
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
that's fair.
Like women carried baseball, they carried the country and the morale, right? And then the men came home and the idea of female baseball was erased. And I don't like it
No,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
because I am a dirty lib.
All right, so Joe, I know you do need to get running. So Joe, have a good night. Have a great holiday. We'll see you next time we're back
Happy
on, probably like
Thanksgiving,
2
friends.
weeks or
Bye.
so.
See you, Joe.
See you, Joe.
Bye.
Love. It's been
Way too
honestly
long.
so long.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, so Ronnie, well, we're thinking of the next question. If you have a question that you want us to bounce between the two of us, please feel free and throw it up there as
There's
well.
there's four of us.
Wait,
Well, yeah,
I need to
2
take
groups.
a break. So there's going to be 3 for about 2 minutes.
Okay,
and I
go
will be
ahead. Go
right back.
go do what you need to do, and then be right back.
Well, Andrew, did you want to do a question? Then we'll go to Karen before we Karen and Ronnie before we wrap up.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, do you want baseball related, or do you want completely out there, whatever?
Oh, I don't care.
Karen, what do you?
I am as flexible as a cooked noodle.
Okay. All right.
Were you not recording any of what we just talked about?
Do you see the thing where it says live up there in that corner?
Yeah, but then down there it says recording live. That wasn't
Oh
there.
no, that's part of the overlay. No, it's been recording live the whole time. I just took it off because with the 3 screens, it was blocking blocking one of our
Yeah.
faces out.
Yeah.
So they were taken off. Now they're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right. So
It's all gone.
I know.
all right, Karen. So here's the question for you.
Okay.
Top 3 favorite Marvel heroes. I'm being nice saying top 3 and not making you pick just one.
Oh, if it's
You're
one,
welcome.
it's easy.
You're welcome.
One is easy. When you add more, then it gets harder.
Yeah, well,
Go like your 3, 2, 1. Go in
Like
reverse
3
order.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
this ought to be good. Jason, I might have broken her.
I know who her number 1 is.
He can feel the smoke coming out of my ears.
I was supposed to say, I thought I saw smoke in the background. What the hell?
So number 3 would be Captain Marvel
Mm-hmm.
because she takes no crap. And quite honest, I mean, her power is like legit. Like, yeah. And then I would say Doctor Strange as number 2.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I like that his power isn't just I'm gonna blow things up. Like, there's a different, for lack of a better word, dimension to his power.
Dimension.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then of course number 1 was and forever shall be Iron Man, just because.
Wasn't you just talking about not blowing shit up, Jason?
Hold on. 1 goddamn second. Are we talking about Marvel?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
That's
I
Andrew's
just proposed
question.
is top 3 Marvel heroes.
And we're doing it in reverse order.
Yes, it is.
Damn it! I answer that.
So for Karen, number 3, Captain Marvel. Number 2, Doctor Strange. And then number 1, Iron Man.
Wait, did
because she
you
went
know
from I like a hero.
I
who
didn't know
doesn't
the other
blow shit
two.
up,
I thought there was
to a
going to be
hero
another
that
one there.
literally blows shit up all the time for fun because he's a billionaire playboy.
Right, so then you have Doctor Strange to balance him out.
You're up.
No, I can't be next. Somebody
I'll go next, Ella. I'll go
Okay.
next.
Let her. She needs time to think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no problem.
coming in at number 3 for me is going to be.
I know it's tough.
I'm trying to decide between two here. I'm going to say I'm going to go with. I'll go with. Between the two, I'm torn between Spider-Man and Ant-Man for number 3,
Yeah.
and the other one would be Just Outside at number 4.
Sure.
So take that for what you will.
So
One of this,
I would say
So 3A, 3B is Spider-Man and Ant-Man.
yeah,
So an
my
instant.
opinion.
correct. I just love the
Spider-Man over Ant-Man.
yeah. I just love the way that they're set up. I love the comedy from them, things like that.
I love the fact that Spider-Man's not just a fucking asshole like he was
Yeah.
in the first couple
Yeah.
movies, and he's actually legit
Hold
now.
on. I know you're not talking about Andrew Garfield's.
No,
I
I'm
know you're
talking
not.
about Tobey Maguire.
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna say.
No, I Garfield was fine, but the supporting cast was terrible. I could not stand Tobey Maguire as what I didn't like. I could not stand the middle
Honestly,
set of Spider-Man.
watching
I
our
couldn't.
divorce on live stream, guys. Not a joke.
So number 2 for me is and it may be just because we recently saw Wakanda Forever, and I have a soft spot for Chadwick Boseman now as well. Black
Yeah.
Panther for me is in there at number 2. I love the nobleness and the humility, while also being to me that's a leader.
Mhm.
Is Black
Mhm.
Panther.
Absolutely.
Doing things for the best of the country. Number 1, I also am going to go with Iron Man.
Mhm.
The sarcastic comments, like the wit, and at the end, he gave himself up.
Yeah,
He
made
really
the
had the best character arc.
Yeah. His character arc was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Guys, I've had too much beer. That's gonna make me literally cry.
All right, you're up.
Can I add that
Can you
also
go
have
next?
a
Yeah,
secondary character arc?
I can go next. All right. So for me, number 3.
You need to get Ella drunk before you see Wakanda Forever.
So here's the thing: it's going to have to be after community choir that you keep dodging tomorrow, so she'll have time to drink before we go to see it.
You don't understand.
thing that's
how bad
Thursday
I'm
night.
going to
I don't
cry.
know about that.
Wait, what are you guys doing tomorrow?
Yeah, it's
night?
like the Ryan Smith thing. I've
No.
told you. Yeah, I've told you about that numerous times.
All right.
What do
So
you wait, pause. What are you guys doing tomorrow night? Sorry, podcast people. This is important.
I don't think we have anything.
I thought you were going out to.
I could do that another time.
Hell yeah. All right, we're going together.
Actually, if
Okay, go ahead.
we take the turnpike up to New York on Wednesday, just make a quick stop there. I was going to cash in. I hedged my Phillies World Series bet with the by betting on the Astros so that I could
that was smart.
Smart.
and then so I need to exchange that ticket, cash that ticket in. But we're also heading up to New York on Wednesday for the Billy Joel Madison Square Garden thing for my birthday and Christmas.
Right.
Nice.
So if we take the turnpike out, it will literally pass it. So tomorrow night, I'm going to say that we're kind of free.
All right. It's a date.
Guess what? We're kind of free too.
Can we cuddle?
Um,
I mean, you'll probably need to with how
it
it.
will be Jason, you, me, Andrew. Yes, we will be cuddling.
Okay.
What? Me and Jason don't get cuddles? What
No.
the hell?
No,
I think Andrew, you could sit on the other side of me. We'll let the
Okay.
two girls sit by
Yeah,
themselves.
that's fair. I need all of the cuddles.
Yeah, we knew that.
You'll
All right.
you will especially need it for the movie.
So I just bring a box of tissues.
Yes,
Yeah.
honestly,
Please.
bring like those little like travel packs because you will need it.
Okay.
All right. So for me, number 3, Black Panther.
What? Go
Hold
on.
on.
Go
Hold
on.
on.
Go on.
Hold on. Number 2, Wanda.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, spicy take. I like it.
Number one, Iron Man. Always has been my favorite.
Always.
Yeah. You're up. Everybody else.
Gave you as much time as possible. Ron does not have a question for us. I messaged him. He had to leave because his internet went out.
Oh,
But
poor
he does
Ron.
not have a question for us at the moment.
That's too bad. All right, you're up. You're allowed to do like a 3A, 3B if you're torn at the bottom for
I
who the hell to
don't
put
like
on there.
this. I don't like it.
Who is your least favorite Avenger and why is it Captain America?
No, if it's movies though, it's the fucking Hulk because that was such a train wreck.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of the worst
Okay, but
pieces
once
of
Mark
cinema
Ruffalo
history.
came on board,
Yeah,
it was
that-
fine.
That's fair. It
It was
wasn't
fine.
Ruffalo. That's fair.
All right, guys, are you ready to hate me?
All right, number 3. Or is this your least favorite hero?
No, I'll do the top 3.
Okay, number
is-
3.
But I'm doing 3A and 3B.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
3A. Oh, I guess should I do 3B because that's below
It doesn't
3A?
matter. It doesn't
3A
matter.
and 3B are your interchangeable ones.
They're
So you can just say
interchangeable.
whichever ones.
Okay, so 3A and 3B would be Thor
Okay.
and Black Widow.
Yeah, I almost put
Nice.
Black Widow in.
Natasha, that's my babe,
Yeah.
right? Like,
she's 4. I put her right behind Black Panther.
I love her. Everything that she did for the Avengers Initiative, top notch. Top notch. Love her. 2, Black Panther. Not even a question.
Yeah. Number 1.
It's Iron Man.
It's always Iron Man. It's always Iron Man.
So
Tony
Iron Man is
Stark-
the consensus number 1.
Tony Stark will forever. So Iron Man is what got me into Marvel.
Yeah.
And he will forever be like the keeper of my heart.
Iron Man
The
is the
fact
reason we made it
Endgame-
to freaking Endgame. Without
Endgame
Iron
destroyed me. Like it destroyed me.
Yeah.
I sobbed.
So-
literally wept. Like, I mean, ugly cried in
Yeah.
the fucking theater.
Yeah.
It was so
We
gross.
got Tony, tomorrow's gonna be.
Yeah.
Guys, stop. No.
So to give you a reference for tomorrow,
Okay.
I got with Tony in Endgame, I got the lump in the throat,
Yeah.
which is usually like the most choked up I'll get. I'll get that like feeling like, oh my gosh, this is really going to soon wreck me.
Sure.
But I didn't have anything further.
stop.
Wakanda Forever, I had to actually wipe my eyes.
Yeah.
Just to prepare you for tomorrow. Although if you're not drunk tomorrow, maybe it will be a little less.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
no.
literally
It won't matter.
worse if I'm sober.
She'll cry during a kid's movie.
Well, then maybe
Yeah.
you should drink beforehand.
Fuck. Okay.
So is it your question then that's
Yeah.
left?
So, somewhat related, what are your top 3 secondary characters?
Oh,
Oh, come
God
on.
damn you, Karen.
Okay, how are
This is a baseball podcast.
Karen, what are you defining as a secondary character? Like, give me an
The
example.
Wasp, Bucky, literally the second Vision.
Okay,
But then, by
just-
that logic, Wanda would also be a secondary character.
yeah, that's exactly
No,
why
she
I'm
has a whole
asking.
show. She has a whole show.
But
I would say a secondary character would be one who's not an official part of like the Avenger Initiative. Is that what you mean?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
So, like anybody
Here,
outside of the
you
original,
you start us off with your top 3 secondary
Yeah, let's
characters
see
to
what
give us
she
an
means.
idea.
okay, so Okoye?
Okay, so Okoye.
oh hell yeah,
Yeah, badass
badass.
and loyal. Like,
Is she number 3 then for you?
yeah.
Okay.
See, I would consider
I see
Hawkeye.
no. I see what we're doing. Go on.
Like, Hawkeye is an Avenger, but he has like
No,
No,
he's an Avenger. He was
Huh?
in. He's an Avenger.
No, Hawkeye's full. He's
Yeah.
not secondary.
Okay.
He's in the original 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets no love. He
I
needs.
hear you.
That's
I
fair.
hear you.
It's a fair point, but he's an original Avenger.
Okay, well then I yield the floor to
All
think of a third one.
Or if you want, you can just do another question. Or do you have your number one?
Well, my number one would be Agent Coulson.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Phil.
All right.
All right. Do you want me to?
Oh, wait.
I can take
Guys,
this
we
one.
tied it around to the baseball. Let's go, Phil.
Ah,
You're fired. All right. My 3. Number 3 is Agent Coulson.
Okay.
Number 2.
Wrong.
Number 2 is Katie
Wrong.
Katie.
Go on.
from Shang-Chi.
Okay.
Oh,
Badass bitch, but go on.
Number 1, Okoye.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Spider-Man's daughter, or not Spider-Man.
He does have a daughter.
Ant-Man.
He's like 16.
Cassie.
Oh, Cassie.
Cassie. Love her.
boy.
She's adorable.
Guys.
Oh boy.
All right, Jason, you go
And
next.
Lewis.
I want to go last again.
They'll go together. Lewis and Cassie.
Luis.
Luis.
I would say Luis is definitely going to be one of mine.
Luis
I think
is pretty fucking awesome.
I think Luis would be my number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2. I think my 3B would probably be Coulson.
Okay.
And then number 2. Oh, I have to think about that one a little bit more. Number 1 is definitely going to be Okoye.
Yeah.
Just with the loyalty, like she would have killed her own husband for Wakanda.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Number
Miniseries.
Yeah.
number 2. I am going to say there's a few that are running through my head, so they're all running together now.
Maybe you shouldn't have done 3B.
Can I have it?
Yeah, maybe I'll just I'll bump them all up. I'll go with 3. Number 3 would be Coulson. Number 2 would be Luis, and then number 1 is going to be Okoye.
All right, fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to have two parts. Ready? 3B and 3A are Phil Coulson and Okoye.
Mm-hmm.
2B and 2A are going to be Luis and Sif.
Oh, Lady Sif, nice.
I didn't even.
And number 1, you motherfuckers, is going to be Maria fucking Hill. Are any of you joking me right now? Are any of you joking? That bitch literally carries the fucking Avengers Initiative on her back.
Yeah.
She never came to my mind.
I didn't even think of her.
Sorry about this last week.
We never even brought up Nick Fury.
Well,
He's not really secondary, though.
Yeah, I can't call
Goose!
Fury a secondary. I know
Oh,
Fury's
Goose,
not
yeah.
an Avenger.
Goose. Goose is number 1.
Okay.
Goose.
Okay.
Goose is the supreme,
But
right? So, like,
that's the problem.
above
The
any
problem with
numbers
Fury is
is
because he
Goose.
runs Shield. You can't really call him a secondary
Mm-mm.
character, even though he's not a hero per se.
No, he doesn't count.
He's the spy
right?
master.
But like Maria,
Yeah,
come on,
that
guys.
was absolutely.
As you're all talking, I was just like, you.
Well,
I was like,
here's the
"Excuse
problem.
me?"
Here's the problem. There are so many damn Marvel movies. To pick
Also, can we talk
3 is
about
not
Miss
fair.
Time from Loki?
Miss Minutes.
Miss Minutes. That's it.
Yeah,
Love her.
I also really enjoy Darcy, Kat Dennings' character.
Yes.
Darcy.
Yes.
She's pretty funny.
yeah.
I
I
love
want to see her
but
in
if I
more
had
before I
to
would
pick a
elevate her
side,
higher.
if I had to pick a side character from Thor movies, it would be Sif, she has given everything, including her arm.
Yeah, literally her arm.
Although she could be easily swapped out for Heimdall.
Yeah.
Oh.
Korg.
Wait, okay.
Oh,
Here's something.
Korg.
Peace out,
Could
ghost.
the four of us, hold on, listen to me for a second.
Yeah, Jason.
Could the four of us start a Marvel podcast?
We could do that.
Yeah, we could, and we should. Just like simmer on that for a minute,
Well,
Yeah.
because this is a baseball podcast, right? And I'm sorry to all the baseball
yeah,
fans.
we left
We're all
baseball like a
nerds.
half hour ago.
We're all- like, this is disgusting.
We did a
and I-
home run with this question, though.
Oh,
no,
we
it's
hit
a great
home
question.
run. But I'm just saying, like, could we branch off?
Okay, listeners.
So it's like
let us
a
know.
spinoff.
Listeners, let us know.
Yeah.
Would you like to know our Marvel opinions?
Or other things too. We can go beyond Marvel as well. Just don't
Not
ask us
too
to go
far.
to DC because
too
DC
far.
is a joke compared to
Right.
Marvel.
Not too
No.
far.
I love DC comics. DC movies are a joke outside of Batman.
I would say I know Marvel and Star Wars. That's about it.
Yeah, but you
So with Marvel and Phil Coulson, since he came up a good bit, when I was showing Karen the Marvel films, I showed her in timeline order.
Smart.
And
Good.
so you get a lot of Phil Coulson in there. And she's like, so before we watch Marvel's Avengers,
Stop.
I go, so who's your favorite Marvel
No.
character so far?
Stop.
And she goes, I love Agent Coulson. He's so amazing. And I gave her this look. I just like, she said, and I just went, and she goes, does he die? And I said,
Sweet baby.
and she goes, what? When? And I went, and she goes, son of a bitch, it's in this one.
It was very dramatic.
I had to warn her when it was about to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so Karen, you have to know that the other night when I saw that you guys went to see Wakanda Forever, I was floored. Absolutely fucking floored, because I was like, no, she did not go to see it without Jason seeing it first.
She did.
Also, wait, viewers, listeners, you have to know that Karen literally texted me after we saw Thor Love and Thunder and was like,
It's
what the goddamn
it's a
hell?
spammer from
Yeah, we have a spammer. Hey, it's our 69th show.
Hey,
Heyo.
thanks for chiming in.
High sex spot. Anyway. So
Every time
can
it's
I say
always
that?
yes.
okay.
It's always YouTube too. It's never anywhere else.
Weird. Karen told me that she could not wait to see Jane kick some ass. And I was just like, oh, baby. Oh, no. Oh, no. I literally looked at Andrew and was like, do I tell her? Do I tell her that the whole movie is literally about Jane's death? Do I tell her? Oh, no.
I figured it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was
When-
so panicked. Literally from the moment you texted me that till you said that you were watching it, I was just like, oh no.
When
Oh no.
when they said that she had like stage 4 cancer, Karen very quickly was like, oh well, this isn't gonna end well. And then eventually when
Okay.
they revealed like Mjolnir's power is actually weakening you and making you
Yep.
and if you use it again, you'll die. That's when she was pretty much like, well, she's going to go out with a fight and save somebody.
So as a hospice nurse, so I watched that movie from two perspectives, right? Like I watched it as me, like human, just like regular me. But I also watched it as someone who works with the dying. And I wept. Like, I wept because it showed the two sides of dying, right? Like, you have the two sides. You have people who know what they want and will do it. And you have people who are in despair and will take everyone down with them. And I just, like, from my perspective of experiencing death regularly, it was really eye-opening and really just like I was sobbing, like body wrench sobbing. It was horrible.
Mhm.
Didn't like it. Did not like it. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend. Don't watch that movie if you're into hospice. Just saying.
Into hospice, words I never thought would be uttered on this show.
Involved in hospice, I think is what I meant to
There
say.
you go.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put that. Yeah.
I'm hospice's biggest fan.
As you should
Yikes.
be. Hospice is amazing.
It
So
is.
fuck
Yeah.
off with your sarcasm.
No, it sure is. My grandmother was there before she passed, and they were phenomenal.
They really were.
With us.
The one over in Mountjoy-ish.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
mine.
Yeah.
That's mine.
You guys took great care of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. So,
All
so
right.
tomorrow night's gonna be fun then.
I'll let
It's
you know
kind
what time. My dad is having the kids over for a sleepover.
Ooh.
So I'll text you.
Okay.
Okay.
Have your people call my people.
I will have my
exactly.
people call your people. And by that, I mean, I will text you, Karen, and we will coordinate our husband's schedules.
Nothing new there.
Good.
So anyway, so this has been a lot of fun. We do need to have Kat on next time, so it can actually be the
Yes.
full six of us.
Yes.
But
Kat, we miss you.
But from all of the families here at Dollar Ducks and Beer Podcast, we hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. It's, we've had a blast this year, and frankly, since we've started this show, and it's nice to branch a little bit off of baseball every now and then because, we love baseball, but it's also the off season, and damn it, we need more baseball. So, guys, you can find the audio recordings anywhere podcasts are found, Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, the whole 9 yards. You can see us live on the YouTube channel with all these spammers that love to pop into our group chat with inappropriate comments. You can also see us live on Facebook Live as well as on Twitter, actually. You can find the merchandise at redbubble.com/people/DDAB-podcast, on the Facebook page at facebook.com/dollardogsandbeer, on the Twitter page at DDAB_podcast. We're all on Twitter. I'm at PyroLord314. Jason's at JRicker300. Joe's at JoltonJoe35. We are presented by Dark Arrow Podcast LLC. We're sponsored by Whiskey and Blade Barbershop. One quick shout out. Johnny, thank you for the wonderful work you did on Jason's hair. I mean Jason, our son, not Jason, the podcast host. Jason's hair looks absolutely phenomenal. He's getting compliment. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. He is getting so many compliments on it from people outside the family, so it looks just great. And I'm happy to say, with his new favorite brush, he has actually been brushing it himself,
The
and
gold-plated
very
brush.
well.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, he loves it. So thank you guys to Johnny and Chad. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. Guys, may your dogs always cost $1. May your beer always be cold. Have a good night. We will see you after the Thanksgiving holiday.